to LPDS.
Pleasure.
LDPS. PDS. Podcast Diary Show.
That's right, yeah. All right, jabronis, we're back. Don't mind the echo going on in here. Don't mind the poor audio quality, but we had to make it work. I had to get these special guests on, so fucking deal with it. Sorry, Terrence, it's family show. But that's gotta be the record. Like we're 15 seconds in, and we're already in the explicit stages. So you know how that show is gonna go now. But before we really get into it, I just want to welcome my special guests, thanking them for letting me be here. So first, Wet Cat to my right, your left, I think, yeah. Phil Reamy. So you know him from the treasure hunts and his quick paws. So
Damn right you do.
And then to my left, your right, is Long Island's first son. Cory Davids, Dangerous Davids. So, Davids, this is actually Cory's house, his studio that he let us use. We're trying to make it work with one mic, low tech, but I appreciate you letting us do this. We had to get it done. Yeah. I don't even care if it sounds really kind of shitty, as long as people can hear us and enjoy it. We had to get it done, so I appreciate you doing this and letting us host here.
Anytime, Sarge. Anytime.
Also, real quick, for everybody that doesn't know, I put up the hints earlier. I put the Wet Cat photo up on IG, obviously for Phil, and then I put up the Oswald Collapot for you. So we're going to go back in time a little bit to a story. Cory was, when we first knew Cory in college, he was a little heavier. And he had a striking resemblance to the Penguin from Batman Returns. Everybody made fun of the poor bastard for it. So that was his thing. Oswald Collapot, Bone Crusher, part of the Brotherhood. He even got him a gag Christmas gift one year where he made him the Duckmobile from Batman Returns. So that was always the ongoing joke. So I put that up knowing that people would recognize, oh, this got to be Cory Davids. But you've had an immense rebirth in Long Island. You're doing great things with the fitness world right now, so you're looking fucking great.
I'm looking more like the Gotham Penguin.
You are definitely. So congrats on that. But we don't have any junction topic. We're just gonna kind of free for all it. But before that, we obviously got to do a cage fact. So let's just step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right, friends. Today's cage fact is sponsored by Snyder's of Jerusalem Kosher Pretzels. Pretzels so good and so kosher, they'll blow your yarmulke clear off your head. If you have the chutzpah to handle the finest pretzels the motherland has to offer, visit www.davids.il/shalom for 1.4% off your first batch of pretzels.
They're good pretzels.
Look, they're great pretzels.
Just throw them on the grill is what I heard.
Yes,
they are. Yeah, I mean,
you freeze them and then you throw them on the grill. It's the best.
Look, I'm surprised they even gave the discount because they're quality. Like they sell themselves. You don't need it. Like, you're still gonna buy it.
It's a big PR move for
it is.
For my people.
It really is. And the fact that they were nice enough to offer that, it was a tough negotiation. I'm super appreciative.
Once they knew that I was coming on the show, I think that may have persuaded them to maybe give you something.
Oh yeah, I think you had the pull, the chutzpah, if you will.
Listen, it's the New Year time for the Jewish people, and
that's right. It's a big time. It is. Yeah, it's a happy time for all. So thank you for that.
Right off.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you, Snyders. So the cage fact. This is actually something that I almost lived and experienced live. So back around 2016, I was in Las Vegas for a work thing that we had to do for a week. And afterwards, we're going to do the Vegas thing, like casinos and stuff. And I forgot exactly what casino it was, but I was there most of the day doing my thing. And then we left the next day. That day we left, there was an altercation outside that casino. So the altercation was between Nikki Sixx, who's the lead singer of Motley Crue, and a fan. So there was a fan that saw Nikki Sixx and said, "Hey, I love you. Can I get an autograph?" Nikki Sixx was drunk and was like going after the fan. I think even the fan might have been a female too. And he was going after the fan. He was disgruntled. He was drunk. He must have lost a bunch of money. And he started trying to go like push the fan and hassle her. Out of nowhere comes Nick Cage. I think there might be a video of it too. He's wearing like a royal blue suit. Oh, wow. Like a bright royal blue suit. And he comes out like a goddamn superhero and breaks up the fight and has to calm down a drunk, like 80s hairband rock star. And he has to cool off and diffuse the situation. And then, like a goddamn superhero, he disappears into the night.
That's what I was going to ask. Did he just disappear?
That's it. And something like there was like Sasquatch-esque footage of like, is that Nick Cage doing that? Like, we can't tell. We don't know. It was blurry, blurry camera footage. And then he's gone. And then you see an article like the next day, like, I think Nick Cage actually, helped out. They eventually interviewed him, and he talked about it, how like he felt bad for Nikki Sixx. He was drunk, but also he had to protect his fan.
It doesn't surprise me one bit.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, this is not the first story of him being a good Samaritan and a decent human being in general. But I was so pissed that it was the exact casino I spent all day the day prior at, and he's there. Like, my hero is there.
He was right next to you, but, you turn one way.
And he's gone. Yeah, he's gone. He was like
when we saw Steve Buscemi.
That's right, yeah. I definitely would have panicked like that, too. But it was an incredible story. I almost lived it. If I did live it, I would not be friends with anybody anymore. I'd be too good for you guys. I just feel like, well, I actually saw Nick Cage, so that's that.
Two things. Who better to calm down Nikki than Nick, right? A fellow Nick.
That's right.
And also, did they do the Commissioner Gordon thing where, they're taking notes about what happened, and then someone's telling you, and what was your name again? And then Nick Cage
he looks up, he's gone. Yeah, and Johnny Blaze is out of there.
Yes,
so.
Hair on fire.
Yeah, it was an incredible, like, legend, like a folklore type of story, because they only have some grainy footage of what could possibly be Nick Cage. But all the witnesses, it's undeniable. When you see Nick Cage out and about, it's undeniable. So. But that's the Cage fact today. So there you go.
That's it. That's one of the best ones I've heard.
Here's the question I have for you, John. If you met Nick Cage, what would you do? Would you just cry? Would you break down? Would you throw up? I mean, instantly just vomit? Yeah.
So I like to believe that I'm always ready for that opportunity because I want to be ready. But there's a high likelihood that there would be some sort of like nervous word fumble, like a little dribble down the pants, some sort of obvious thing that I would just completely ruin it and botch it, and I would spiral into a deep depression over it.
Would it be like 40-Year-Old Virgin? Would you just see them and just be like, oh?
It could be. It could be like that.
Are you an autograph guy, a selfie guy, or just a nice conversation and just believe that you got to tell the story to people?
I'm a conversation story guy. I'm big on that. Actually, most of my interactions with celebrities are where I pride myself.
Let me guess. It'll be like you'll have a conversation with them. It'll happen, but you'll sneak a photo to prove to your friends that it happened.
I don't. I wish I did.
Okay.
I actually don't. Usually, most of the times, they're so quick and ad hoc that I don't have my phone like physically in my hand, or I'm not with anybody else. Or I'm just kind of in the moment, but what I like to do is I like to be able to think quickly on my feet. Like if I see like somebody, like a famous person, I want to be able to think something quickly that's not like, oh, I love you, but something like lets them know that I'm a fan, but I'm also different from the other jabroni fans.
Yeah, I think you're going to need to think quickly here and put your business hat on for a second and probably get him to record, and now we're stepping into the cage.
Oh, that would be that would be incredible. Yeah. I do like to think I have like a stockpile of facts that I can use in my favor, like something that I can sneak into conversation. Like, hey, let me see your tattoo, like his Johnny Blaze tattoo or something like that. That he would be like, oh, this guy's a fan, but he's also approaching me like an adult.
It proves that you know about him.
It's right, but I'm not fanboying out about it.
You're not just meeting a celebrity that you know is popular. You're meeting someone that you like his work. So,
right. You
gotta get past the TMZ fans. You gotta get deep down.
You gotta get deep down into it, so to speak. So I have a lot of plans in my head on how it's gonna go down. What I would really ideally love to be able to do is I'd like to get into a relationship enough with him, like a friendship, to where I can convince him to officiate my wedding, like be the minister at my wedding.
Yeah.
Like that's the dream, is like all of a sudden like he comes out of nowhere and everybody there is just like, you son of a bitch, you did. I can't believe he got him. So we'll see how it goes. But before we get to the junction real quick, I forgot to mention, as we step away from step out of the cage, we had a treasure hunt this week. It was the bench in front of the Castle of Clinton in New York in Battery Park, where Agent J and Agent K sat in Men in Black, back when Agent J was still James Edwards, before he was an agent, when he was contemplating on becoming an agent for Men in Black. Sorry, I hit my stupid earphones here. So Justin Merrick got it correct. He actually got both. He said both Agent J and Agent K, but then he also caveated, but it was when he was James Edwards.
Oh, wow.
So he covered his bases to make sure.
It was clean.
Yeah, it was.
He
a
didn't
clean,
want to
it was
win
a
on
clean
the
victory.
technicality.
He didn't want,
from what I heard.
Right, yeah.
Right, so he got it.
You don't want the pity shout-outs.
Nobody shouts.
No, you don't want the pity shout-outs. And I do want to say, I did get the message from you, Phil.
Boycotting
You
works.
did boycott. It was almost immediate. So it was. I knew that you were paying attention. You probably would have got it, but it was like, hey, I'm boycotting this just to let you know. Got it. So
It's a big step for him to be on the show right now.
it is. Yeah. Well, so here's the thing: is, and this is not me by any means being a simp. I'm not a simp. I'm an alpha. This is why I have my show. This is my program. I'm an alpha. I'm a tough guy. I realize that, like all humans, we make mistakes on our decisions. And my mistake that I made here was creating this arbitrary regulation, this restriction on how many times you can win in a row. And I said that initially where hey, Phil can't always win. We gotta keep it fair and whatever. And I realized that kind of goes against everything I believe in, as far as like being competitive and earning things and all that stuff. And Phil reminded me of that, so thank you for that.
I mean, you're better than that.
Phil's not going to get
It
a
was a-
participation trophy. He's like the Ken Jennings.
That's right. That's right. And so that's the thing, is I realized, like, look, you guys, it's on you to take out the wet cat, or anybody who's going to hold a streak and be better than you. You have to be better than them. And Phil was better than me there. He reminded me, and now I'm once again better than everybody else, because I realized that now I'm back on alpha status. So that's what we're going to do. You get it 15 times in a row, you get it 15 times in a row. Everybody else, be fucking better on the treasure hunt, okay? And that's it. But congratulations to Justin. You got a 1 week streak going, so let's see if you can keep that up.
And officially, with the public concession by our host here, I'm back in. So
That's another big thing, too.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
So you kind of canceled it.
I mean, if who was the winner?
Justin Merrick.
Justin Merrick.
He went to every riddle, too.
He can take the win this week. I'm not going to take it away from him, but
Just know that you're
In
coming.
fair, look,
now
if-
we're back in.
He needs to know you're coming for him.
yeah, even if you were in it, it was close. Justin was on it this week.
Oh yeah, he was quick.
And he
was
came in quick
yeah.
with the caveat immediately following,
Oh, yeah.
before I could even respond to him. So he was a good earner.
I mean,
He was a good win.
he won the race that Michael Phelps was out with an injury. I mean,
We could
he
say
won
that.
the
You
race.
could, yeah, you could
He
argue
won the
that. Yes,
race.
that's right.
he won the race.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's good job, Justin. We'll find I'll find a fucking something in New York. It's gonna be cool to go off of. So we'll find that. But
Maybe we'll get one on Long Island.
we could. I don't know if there's anything famous up here. Jones Beach. Well, I don't know. That's kind of trashy. But let's move it on to the junction. The junction's nothing, guys. There's no topic. I'm happy that my two close friends are here from college. I actually got a lot of requests from people to have you guys on at one time or another. So the fact that you're both on at the same time, I don't know what to do. Like, usually what I do is I cater like a topic of conversation to one person. Like, you and I could talk about knowing Buellmeyer and your Tommy Lou Ray and other stuff that we did separately, and then you and I could talk about being roommates and how we absolutely roasted each other and shit talked each other endlessly. But so I'm too excited. It's one of those things where, like, I'm so excited I'm panicking. I'm having like an Ortman moment here. Sorry, Ort Daddy. But I'm just excited that you guys are here and that we're actually together. It's been, I don't know how many years since the last time we were together.
Well, since both of us have been together, since college, which is crazy.
Or maybe an alumni weekend. I don't know if we were both down.
No, I wasn't.
He's never been
That's
back.
right, yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy.
So was that
It would've been
2010, 2011? Because I would come back when I was in Pensacola.
Yeah.
But
it's insane.
It's probably that late night where I had to steak and shake.
Oh my God. Do you remember? I'll never forget this. I don't know if I told anybody else this story like on the pod before, but we were out. One of us was DDing. Not any of you. It was like either me or Ortman were DDing for the night, and then we went out to some stupid club in Daytona. Pick your club. What was it? Was it Razzles?
Yeah, Razzles 509.
Yeah, I think it was Razzles. What was the one you can use your Eagle ID and get it for free?
509. Oh no, that was
Razzles.
Ocean Deck is like that too.
Deck was like that.
Razzles,
But Razzles had the bouncer who looked like he was like an old Goomba wannabe.
I imagine that bouncer's been there from the day that place was.
Yeah, he might be the secret owner. I don't know.
Yeah, he could be.
But yeah, so we were at Razzles, and if I'm not drinking, I'm not liking the club scene. Like, I'm not a fucking club rat by any regards, by any means sober at all. So we're there. Orty's not in the club, Orban's not the club guy, and rightfully he doesn't need to be. He's Orban. So we're sitting in the corner, rotting. All we're doing, I don't know who else was out there. You might have been out there, Dean. We ended up going back to the apartment because it was 2011 when I was already in the Air Force.
Okay.
And I came back to visit. You might have been out with us too. I don't know if you were still there or not.
I was still there, but tell the story.
So we were out. Orton and I were in the corner drinking 7-Ups and limes or something. It's really ridiculous. And all we're doing is this sucks. This is a stupid place. I don't even know why anyone wants to go here. We're too mature and grown up for this. I can't wait to go to Steak and Shake and get a milkshake. That was what the two grown-ups were talking about and bitching about. So and all we talked about for the whole hours long that we were out there was what kind of shake am I gonna get? Am I gonna get the turtle shake? Am I gonna get cookies and cream? Am I gonna get all of it? Didn't matter. We get to Steak and Shake finally after a long trip of watching Bonji jumping, humping every white you could possibly imagine. Yeah. We finally get to the car. We're dropping drunks off when we're going to Steak and Shake, and I get the extra large.
I know where this story is. I remember this story now.
Oh yeah, and our tradition at that time was we get our late night food, whatever it was, Steak and Shake, Taco Bell, what have you. We take it back to the apartment, and we hit the sticks. We're playing Halo until 4 or 5 in the morning. We're doing push-ups if you get skunked, if you get no kills. That's why I'm so ripped, because I do nothing but push-ups because I sucked at the game. So we're okay, we got the shakes. We're going back to hit the sticks, baby. It was exciting. I got this thing in my hand. I got the shake. How you doing? This cup in my hand. It's a styrofoam cup at Steak and Shake. If you didn't know that, styrofoam, super environmental friendly. We get back to the apartment. I got a bag of food in one hand, the shake in the other, holding it just like this. Not like this, I probably should have, thinking back now, hold it like this.
That's the normal way.
Normal, but yeah. I'm just second guessing now because I'm filled with regret.
This is when they won quarterback.
Yeah, but I'm filled with regret, so I have to. So I'm holding it. I'm about to walk around to where I sit down, my spot in the apartment to hit Halo, and all of a sudden, the bottom of the shake cup flaps down like a fucking trap door, like a goddamn magician, just and then the shake just right in the ground, all over the carpet. It splatters everywhere. I see it in slow motion. It's one of those things where it's I'm looking at it, it's slowly happening, and I'm trying to maybe catch it to salvage some shake. Because it's literally all I thought about for hours. And when you're a mental case like me and you get so obsessed with something, that's it. You're done. And this thing fell. It splattered. You hear Orton in the background. It was almost like it was also in slow motion. He's like, oh my God, it's everywhere. And I had no words. I'm just and I'm looking around what just happened? I lost my dog.
Oh, so
and Ortman's trying to console me. He's trying to console me. Everyone's just like, oh man, I know that feeling. And everyone's drunk too. It's just me and Orman are sober. Everyone else is drunk. And they're just like, oh, that's the breaks, kid. And they're like, let's hit the sticks. And me and Orman just look at each other. Orman knows, he feels it because he knows that's all we talked about. That was all we were living for those hours. So he actually offered to he's like, you want to go to McDonald's and get a McFloozy? I was like, I can, but it's not going to be the same. So we went anyway, and I was eating. I was like, it's not the same.
I just packed it in. I would have gone to bed.
He was so pissed.
And I talked about it for days after. I went back to Pensacola, and I still talked about it. I was like, I can't believe this shit. I texted everybody like such a beta bitch boy. Like, this shake. I'll never forget this shake. I can't believe I missed this shake. And
it was so funny. It was just all over the place, man. I didn't even care about the carpet.
Yeah, it was all carpet too. That's what it was. Yeah, I felt bad about that, coupled with the fact that my livelihood was pretty much shattered at that point. Everything I believed in was
in an apartment that we were paying like $300 a person for rent, so it was $600.
That was a dungeon, right?
Yeah,
it was a dungeon. Yeah,
it was just like. Yeah, we felt bad because now the guy's gonna say we gotta get this carpet clean, whatever. But
at that point, at 2 a.m, the carpet was at least in my worries. That's for damn sure. But
that's a rough night.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was a good era though, as far as hanging out. I feel like because, well, maybe not so much you. You were still playing. You were still doing whatever it is you were doing. I certainly wasn't playing. But I still came back a lot because I couldn't get out of that mindset of I needed to be around it. So we were able to hang out more and not have to worry about doing laundry or something or anything. So we could go hang out. We had a nice routine.
If you hadn't commissioned, you had another year of eligibility, right?
I had a year. Yeah, I had another year. 1 full year of eligibility left, but I was already at the school for 5 years. Anyway, so I had a commission. Yeah, because I got cut my first 2 years.
Yeah.
Because of the other coaches, the Williams coaches.
Thanks for Williams.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Coach Williams. But so I only played for 3. Well, I was only on the team for 3 years. I don't know. You played for 4 full.
Yeah, so I got cut my freshman year.
Yeah. But then you stayed the 5th year?
Yeah, I stayed when I started my master's.
That's right. Yeah, and you were able to play, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then you were full 4.
A day, yeah.
You were 4, but did you stay for a 5th?
No, I started working there.
Oh, that's right.
I started working there the following
year. Did they redshirt you your first year? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of knew baseball wasn't my thing. Kind of went on to the marketing scene.
We all. I feel like we all did, but I can't. I can't talk. Yeah, I can't talk because I thought I was a player too, and apparently, I remember, we had the full when Skip and Chief and Thurno came, we had the full fall tryout. Right. Which is a miracle in my mind because with the Williams it was like a 45-minute tryout, in the rain, and they're just
they would claim that we couldn't get on the infield because they just laser leveled it.
Yeah, every year was a laser level, which is thousands of dollars a day.
They set up bases, just throw down bases in the outfield, 120 feet apart. So this diamond to throw from a ground ball from third base to first. It's throwing.
It's a full outfield.
It's throwing foul pole to foul pole.
Yeah.
And so I'm just this kid out of high school, weak arm. I've never played in any kind of everyday fashion.
You're a wet cat, legit.
It was literally wet noodles just across, skipping and rolling into
brutal.
Whoever was playing first. But
and then the batting practice that they had, was in the cages, but it was with the bomb bats, which were wood composite combinations, but they were also 36 inches long because everybody, at least compared to me, everyone was an adult-sized baseball player on the team. And he's like, here, use this bat. And I look and I was like, this is my height. This bat is my height. I look like a Bugs Bunny cartoon where I'm just up there and they're throwing, I'm just swinging this. I was like, well, I'm just going to go fuck myself.
My tryout wasn't in the hitting wasn't in the cages. It was on that same diamond that was set up in center field.
That's where they had that.
Home plate was in center field, right by the fence. And then Williams was up there just whipping in the yellow dimple balls
Peppered
with the
with
same fucking long ass bats.
Yeah.
And they want to see you like hit to the opposite field, and I'm like, I can't pull this anyway, so
I'm gonna look great.
Dinkers, little foul ball flares.
Ridiculous.
That was a tough tryout.
It wasn't a formality. I felt like it was just like we have to
sure.
have a tryout, so
Yeah.
this is what we're doing.
I remember talking to Matty T about it, and he asked because he was a freshman that year that I tried out.
That's right. Yeah.
And so whatever, this was years later when I talked to him about it, and I was like, I tried out, and he was like, yeah, I asked one of the coaches one time, like, hey, are we gonna pick up anyone from the tryout? And he goes, nah, we recruit this team.
That's right. I remember hearing that too.
I mean, they weren't. I mean, Bonji tried out. He made it on a.
Yeah, he got like, I forgot, he told me something about it, and I'm probably gonna butcher this story, but he said something like it was a pre-tryout for him. It was like we saw him play. We're still not sure yet. Let's get him like a separate. I think that's what it was. But I remember, so my third year I wanted to try out, or my second year I wanted to try out. I had like a stress fracture in my foot, so I was in crutches and a boot.
So that would have been the year that I tried out.
Yeah. So I emailed the coach because I was a nut job, like a swim fan, like everyone was getting emails, and I had more stories on emails and players and coaches and stuff. But I hit him up again. I was like, "Hey, coach, real excited about trials, but I got this injury. It won't be done. Is there any way I could possibly do a tryout later on?" And he just wrote back, "No." And I was like, "No, sincerely, Greg Williams." Yeah, I don't know if it was like nice of him to respond, or the fact that he just so hard rejected me. Yeah. Like I would have rather taken the soft rejection.
I mean, I sent like an actual letter and actually a video of me throwing a bullpen that one of my old coaches in high school like put together and sent to him. Mm-hmm. Nothing. So when I showed up on campus and like went to his office, I was like, "Hey, I sent you this package." He was like, "I didn't get anything." So I knew from there
he got it.
Yeah,
right. I handed my video because I went to go visit after I got accepted. I went in January of 2005 when I got accepted, and I gave him the VHS video, and I was like, "Here, I made this for you," like pretty much. And he's like, "Yeah, I'll take a look at that." He just tossed it. Yeah, he gave it to Bud, and Bud just broke it over his face. But then my third year, I was like, "Fine, screw this dude. I'm making this team this year." And then I look on the website. I was like, "Let me go find his email address again." And I see they changed coaches to Skip and Cheesesteak.
Yeah, I found out through some like just normal Embry-Riddle like email updates, and it was like, "Welcome to the new baseball."
So
it wasn't even like an athletics thing.
Yeah,
it was that summer, and I wasn't planning on trying out again. And I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, might as well give it a shot if it's new coaches."
Yeah, see, I was stupid in my mindset because I was like, damn, new coaches, now I gotta build my rapport again. Like I had such a good rapport before with the group. So I emailed Skip and I'm like, "Hey coach, I'm this asshole and I love baseball and I was on a team back in the day and I did decent, I guess, but you should let me try out." When are tryouts? And he's just like, "I don't know, it starts this day." And then I get there and he's like, "Yeah, it's the whole fall semester." And I called my parents. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm going to play the whole fall like a cool guy." I was so pumped. Yeah. But then I saw that like there's a couple other guys that got to play the whole fall too. Like Chad Curtis. Was it Chad Curtis?
Chad Curtis.
Yeah. I mean, everybody got the invite to.
Yeah, so I guess that's nice. That was nice of him to do that. But also I was just like, I guess I'm part of this group now. Like this group.
I mean, they just needed guys. It wasn't. I mean, it was a perfect storm for any of us to really make the team.
Yeah.
If we had come into Embry-Riddle now, where they've been established and like they have a roster, no shot.
And the ability to recruit.
Yeah.
No
shot. We would make it.
Even after. No, you go.
No, I was just saying, I emailed the Williams when I graduated high school.
"Hey, bro, I'm coming in hot from Dr. Spress."
I sent pretty much the same email to him, like, "Hey, I'll do anything to help out. I'll catch bullpens, I'll do whatever. Just want to be part of the team, really." And got zero answer.
Oh,
and then
soft reject.
Zero answer. They probably already had the other job at the time.
Yeah.
And then I saw an article like Embry-Riddle hires head coach Randy Stiegel. I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I sent him pretty much the same email. And he sent it back like pretty quickly, like, "Hey, just show up on this, and this date." So yeah, and forever appreciative of it.
Oh
Yeah, I mean, what a cast of characters that was.
Absolutely wild.
I think they were scrambling like the Steagles. I can only imagine what they had to be going through in their head. Like, we're coaches of a team, but we don't have a team. What the hell are we gonna do? Like, well, these two assholes emailed us. Let's just
the only people that they brought in was like Varnum, AJ Spencer,
And
Dan Dillard.
Yeah, like there was probably only 5 or 6 players that they had
were able to
Indiana
keep.
Tech that they said, hey, we're going to Daytona now, and then they were like, okay, we'll be there.
Yeah, they eventually got Augie to come.
Yeah.
So that was a
great addition.
Yeah.
I remember at first everyone was like, "Oh, this sorry, Terrence fucking guy shows up." This guy shows up, and everyone's like, "Oh man, who's this guy?" Whatever. And he was like a great addition.
He had a soft 380 though.
Yeah, it was a lot of singles and like duck farts, but I mean, better than what I did.
The guy called me a pussy for wearing a cup while catching.
Stuff, normal stuff like that. Yeah.
I ran into him in Chicago maybe 2 or 3 years ago when I was working a contract job.
Oh, really?
And I just happened to see on like Snapchat or something that he was in Chicago at a Cubs game, and I was there too.
I thought he done like a lot of field work kind of stuff.
Yeah, he did for a while. Yeah.
I don't know what he's still doing, but
he's a great dude.
He was a great dude. Yeah, he probably still is. I haven't talked to him a lot.
I mean, he'd be the catcher that I would choose at any point to catch.
It's a little awkward that
it's crazy.
I'm just kidding.
But you know.
Yeah. I could say that to your face.
Yeah, I mean they're the only professional athlete here. But I remember. I don't know
who did warm you up though.
What's that?
Who did warm me up?
I guess you.
Mike Huber.
Did I have a choice for anyone else?
It's true.
Me, not even.
Let's talk about you warming me up.
Oh my God! You didn't want that. You did not want that, and I only wanted that.
Right. Every single inner squad.
I don't know what it was.
You would just be down there catching pins, like kind of throwing into the game if they needed someone to jump in. And so I would at the later point in my career in college, like I was the closer, so I would warm up towards the end of the scrimmage.
Right.
And so then you'd come down, warm me up, and then they'd be like, "Yeah, Sarge, why don't you get in there, get in that bat?"
Against
so
Phil.
you just saw every single bit of movement on what pitch that I had.
They did that for me too.
Dude, I must have batted like 900 against you. We have to be clear for the fans here. Phil, you hold the record for like lowest ERA or like most saves or whatever it was. Like nobody was touching you in real life ever. Like you gave up 2 total runs my senior year. I think one actual run, yeah. And it was like I get up to like, mind you, for the jabronis out in the junction there, I sat the bench every day. I must have gotten maybe 20 total at bats, 30 total in like 3 years in a game ever. So I'm not a college baseball player by any means, like except on paper. One of the best pitchers I've ever seen, like ever experienced as far as like progression and growth and improvement and the ability to shut people down and shove it up people's asses constantly. And I'm fucking lighting him up. and it's not a brag on me. It's not.
You know who was in that company with you? You and one other person.
I don't know. Steele? No.
DJ D40.
Oh my God, DJ Dovercover.
I'd throw a pitch, miss his barrel, but he would miss the swing, so it would run into
the barrel.
Lace it right up the middle every time.
I used to do it all the time too. I would end up warming you up, and they would throw like me and Sarge in there. And I just remember I was just happy that I grounded out the second. I know the cutter's coming on the first pitch. Like, you know.
There we go. And you swing just like, oh, shit.
Please don't throw me the slider.
I remember the first inter squad that I realized how good of a pitch that was I forget who was catching. I think it was it might have been Hubert. I don't know. But I went up to whoever it was and I was like, hey, I'm gonna throw all fastballs today and see if I can get outs.
Yeah.
And I did, and I like struck everyone out. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna throw a slider anymore.
I just remember I was the first one to catch you when Coach Thurlow said, like, let's see you pitch or something like that. And he said to me, he's like, I can't remember the exact words he said, but he's like, that's fastball? Because it was moving a ton. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that was just luck. I mean, that was just the gift of God. I just threw it as hard as I could.
Yeah.
It had a lot of talent, and that's like I've caught pitchers who are now in the pros, like who ended up making it. They did not have the movement that you had on your pitch.
I just wish I had the body to throw harder.
Well, honestly, we all did. We were all living vicariously through you, through the gift. And I remember when, like, there was like a big transformation after you played that summer season in Luray.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you took steroids,
Yeah,
steroids or something.
A little bit of steroid, you know.
I don't know what it was, but you came back from there, and that was it.
That was when I also, because at that point I was like a 5-pitch pitcher. And,
yeah, I remember.
then,
I couldn't remember what to call for you because
Jimmy
there was so much.
Hamilton, our pitching coach down there, he was pretty good. I don't know if he's still coaching anymore, but he was like, bro, you need to stop throwing all that shit. He was like, you need to be from one arm angle and throw 1, 2, or 3 pitches max.
Same angle though.
Yeah, same. Because I was like, I was like 4-seam, 2-seam, change up, curveball, slider. I'm like. So I had it all, but
you also had nothing.
They were all good pitches, but they were all coming from different angles, so they're easy to read. So like, he was just like simplify stuff, and so then that's when I discovered the 4-seam cut. I didn't even know.
Yeah,
like I just didn't even know that was a thing. I just thought that 4 seams went this way and 2 seams went this way.
Yeah,
and then he was like, "This is not normal." So throw that.
Do that all the time, and that was it. Yeah. I remember coming back. And I started catching you after that, and I was just like, I don't know what's going on here, guys. Feels good.
Remember that guy that you had to try play first base? You gave him
yeah.
You guys good.
It's like I'm not a smart man, but I know what good is.
I can't play it, but I've watched a lot of baseball.
Oh yeah. I went down a couple times to go watch you guys play. Orty was on the team for a little bit at Luray too.
Yeah, their second year. Yeah.
And my buddy from high school, John Maskley, played a little bit as well. And I remember, what was the name of your coach, Mike Bocock or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember there was the one game I was at? Well, there's a couple stories from this game.
There's a lot of stories from Mike Bocock.
That guy
was great.
Yeah. But just this one day alone. Okay, so I'll talk to you because you didn't live. We're down in, I went to go visit our buddy, Buhlmeyer, Kirk Buhlmeyer, I call him Rich. He was assistant coaching for Luray, the Valley League team out there in Virginia. I go to visit him in the summer. He's like, we got a game. Phil's playing. Orty's playing. You're coming. I was like, I'll come. Yeah, so we went. We picked Phil up. We're driving to the game. We're in the middle of this town. I forgot where it was. Haymarket or something.
That was
at Luray. Yeah, okay.
Luray.
And all of a sudden, we're at this like stoplight. We're slow driving like in traffic in this little town, and probably the top 5 hottest regular women I've seen, not celebrities, but regular women, just walks down while we're driving up, and everybody's just like drooling like a cartoon. Like, oh my god! And she's just like
5 of us crammed into this like.
It was like an Acura or some crap. Yeah, it was something like 2-door. And we're just like, oh my god, girl. That had nothing to do with the rest of the day. It was just like, we were just awestruck.
Everyone turned forward and registered what happened, and you turned back and she was gone.
She got another Nick Cage
here. It was like Grand Theft Auto 3 where a nice car passes you and you're like, oh, I gotta go get that. And
it's disappeared, like a glitch in the Matrix or something.
Yeah.
But so anyway, we get to the game. You're playing normal, and the umpire was making bad calls, and your coach is starting to light him up. And this was something that he said. I don't know if he said a lot throughout the season, but he goes up to the umpire, and he's like, I forgot the umpire's name, Joe. He goes, Joe, if I think you're an asshole. But I don't say it out loud. I just think it. You can't throw me out for that, right? You can't throw me out for just thinking something. He's like, what are you saying here, Mike? He goes,
well, first
yeah, you got it.
All right, he said, hey, Joe, if I were to call you an asshole, I'm not, but if I were to call you an asshole, you'd throw me out, right? And he'd say, well, yeah, Mike, if you called me an asshole, I'd throw you out. I said, okay, well, what if I just think it? It's just in my head and I just think it. well, I don't know. I can't tell what you're thinking, Mike. And he goes, I think you're an asshole. He walks away.
The umpire's like, you're a god. I was like, this is incredible.
Bats and balls come out on the field. It was great. He got ejected like every other week.
He did. But like, if we're talking technicality, he should not have got thrown out for that game because he did ask. He did. He walked through the steps of the umpire. That umpire reneged on his word. He went back on his word, and that's bullshit. But I remember that story vividly. It was so fucking funny. It was great. But then after that, me and Davis were just sitting in the bullpen watching the fucking show go on.
I mean, it was weird because it followed my sophomore year where I had like a 7 ERA. Had no idea who it was.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was literally night and day.
It was incredible.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
mean, like I said, I didn't change my like work ethic or anything. You just buy into like Coach Thurman's program, and like if you just continue with it, you're gonna find success.
Yeah. If you're a piece of shit, it's not gonna work out as much.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Or if you're a soft serve ice cream motherfucker. Sorry, Terrence, we're killing it today. Terrence, put your kid to bed, then listen to the program. This is not for your child. I'm sorry. Family show. God damn it.
Yeah, but there was a lot of talent, not just me, that like came from low level talent to overachieving.
Oh yeah.
I mean, especially in that 2010 like graduating class, 2010, 2011.
Yeah, that was. I think that says a lot about like our coaches.
Oh,
so
without a doubt, yeah.
We all came in 07-08 season. Was all our first year on the team together. Like that was a nightmare of a situation for coaches because it's like we were on the team.
Right.
Like at the time, you ended up being good, but we had no business. I can't speak for you. I can't speak for you because we always dog on you.
But at the time, I was in the same boat. Like I had zero talent my freshman year.
We were garbage.
Yeah.
I
had never played organized. Like I played Babe Ruth, which like plays like once a week. I had never been on a team where I threw a baseball every day.
I know.
A normal high school team.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got cut from high school, so like,
which is a crazy story, like a Rudy-esque story.
Yeah, so like I was in the same boat, just looking for a jersey.
Anything.
Yeah.
And I remember, I don't know what Skip said to you guys at the end of the fall season that first year during the after the tryout, but he said to me, he's like, look, we were going to pick you kind of anyway because we thought you'd be a good, like, cheerleader, rah-rah guy or whatever. He goes, you're not bad. You got some potential. We were actually surprised. You do show some potential. So we'll keep you on the team. And I was like, thanks. I was like, I'm super happy, but I also don't know how to react to this. So I'm going to try to be, tough about it and walk away. Yeah. But then I remember my senior year, he always had the player evaluations. And he goes, and this is like a compliment / like a hard truth. He was like, look, here's what I think. I think you're playing at 100% of your capability right now, and it's awesome to see, but it's not good enough to be a starter on this team and play regularly. You're just never, he goes, I think you hit your ceiling. You're playing as best as you possibly can talent-wise and work ethic-wise. You can't be better. He goes, unfortunately, it's just not there. And I was like, all right, like that's like I appreciate it. Like there was nothing. I was not like you asshole, you piece of make me. I was just like, you're fucking right. I was not good. I was working my ass off, but I was like, can you at least throw me a couple bucks to do laundry for the team? He's like, no, get out of here. He's like, no, we ran out of money. We had to give it to some cokehead on the team. And that's when I got pissed.
I mean, I think there's roles for players on the team.
Yeah,
we knew our roles.
I loved it.
I knew my role, and I appreciate him giving us the opportunity to be out there and do our thing. And I think we were pretty good teammates. And there's the clubhouse guys you always hear, right? I mean, professional athletes have clubhouse guys that are just like 50 million times better than us. Well, they're just not.
It's all relative. Yeah,
they're playing at 100% of their
ceiling, which is slightly higher than what my ceiling is.
But that was the thing about that team is there were so many guys that were willing to take any role.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, like from the beginning, I was willing to take any role that was given from the get-go.
Outfield, I think it was like outfield, third base, first base, pitcher. And even catcher a little bit for you. I was just like
I caught too my freshman year.
Yeah, it was just like uniform.
Yeah.
If you got a uniform,
I didn't care if I played. I had no expectation of playing at all. And then like I said, you buy into the program, and everybody progressed.
Yeah.
And I was just fortunate enough to progress really well. Well,
not everybody,
but everyone.
We have fun here, folks.
I'm receiving it.
Everyone was willing to take those roles, and that's what made those teams in 2010 and 11 so good.
Fun. Yeah, it was
and we were all pretty close too. We were all pretty close. We were all each other's biggest, cheerleaders, except for 5 minutes where you and me had a spat. But
we had a spat too. Look, here's the thing, everybody. I'm talking to the camera now. Everybody had a fucking spat to fill the wet can.
Me and Tucker had a spat.
That's right. It was. I don't know if I was there for that, but I heard about it.
It was when he was when he didn't make grades in 2010.
Yeah.
And he was like, it hadn't been official yet, but people were like, we kind of knew that it wasn't gonna happen, and we were in the locker room with some shit, and I just remember being so fucking mad at him and Paige for not making grades that year.
I was pissed, yeah.
And so I was so mad, and he said something, and I was fucking lost it on him. And then I was his best man in his wedding.
Yeah. That's how it was though. That's how it was for just about all of us. There was obviously the shitbags that
but you don't even give those guys the time of day.
No, it was never like
no, they were never.
They were never in the circle ever. Yeah.
Like if that kind of conversation happened to someone that I didn't respect or anything, I wouldn't even waste my breath.
It would exactly.
You just would have said, "Get the fuck out."
We'd just be like, "All right, dude. Yeah, you're dead to me."
I suck at this.
Terrence gonna be mad. I'm gonna get some bad.
You're gonna have to put explicit on.
Yeah, I'll just bleep everything out for him. I'll send him a separate one for him and his child.
He's gonna have to listen to the closet.
Yeah, sorry, T. But that was the one thing about the only good thing, honestly, about Embry-Riddle was playing or being on the team, and that circle that we just talked, that circle was big for me. It was a lot of people that I was that close to that you could just be yourself around and trust completely undoubtedly, it was like a brotherhood, like I talked about last week.
It's honestly, there's tens of people, 30 people maybe that. I would say maybe 10 people that you really go back and you were really, really, really close with, right? 10 people on the team, and then you had the rest of the guys that you were friendly with. You would go to bat for any of them.
Yeah,
and I tell the guys that work this all the time, because we work with 30 controllers, and a lot of people don't get along and stuff like that. I'm like, push comes to shove with that team. If someone got into a fight or something like that, there were 29 guys behind you, or however many guys were on the team.
Well, because we went through shit together, and I think that's important. Honestly, it happened to me in the military. We're out there, you're deployed. I personally had a cush job. I wasn't really feeling in danger, but you're in the shit together. You're dealing with a third world country together with shitty conditions.
That does something to you.
Everything. We were fucking running our asses off, puking our brains out in the Florida heat, constantly getting in trouble, doing shit. Yeah. We were in it together, and that was even if I didn't I didn't like you. I didn't like anybody, but I certainly didn't like you in the beginning because I thought you were some fucking Jersey piece of garbage, and I was like, I'm the Jersey guy, not you. And we were, as soon as we started to get into it together, even though I'll always dog on you because we did obviously more running than you.
I love it. But
we were still there.
Also, wasn't my, I think it wasn't very clear. That wasn't my role, honestly, on the team.
No, and that's the thing too. And we still give you shit for it. It was funny, but we were also there. I think you were there a lot too, unofficially. But we were there at 2-3 in the morning doing fucking laundry for the team. Yeah, that's shit too. That's mental training.
And even those laundry nights, half the team was there just
chilling, hanging out,
basketball, kind of just hanging out to because we weren't being around partying and stuff because we were focused on the game.
We had a game, yeah. There's obviously those guys that were partying.
Sure.
But that core group, and that's what I think made it so great. Yeah. And look, I say it 1,000 times, and every chance I get, if it wasn't for making that team with the Eagles, and you guys, I'm dropping out of college. I had a 1.8 GPA.
Life is a lot different.
Yeah, I had a 1.8 GPA. I lost my ROTC scholarship. I was failing out of engineering. I wasn't failing. I was just getting straight D's. And I was like, I guess I'll just go work or enlist or something. And that like motivation of trying out and finding actually a group of friends, another group of friends. Like I had some friends before. It turned it around. I switched majors. I got my GPA back up, and like I would have been a fucking dropout, no doubt about it, if it wasn't for that.
Yeah,
so,
without a doubt. I mean, I wasn't struggling with the grades like you, but my like,
you come from a family of geniuses, though. So
sure, your morale.
Well, air traffic classes aren't that hard. So I mean, I was doing all right in those.
But I know your family.
Life would have been a little different.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Creamy would not have approved of D's, but
definitely not. Definitely not. Well, Crazy Carol at JPL 3 did not approve either, and I didn't tell them until after I lost my scholarship, and they were just that was that. Like, I got hit for that.
Yeah, it was definitely life changing. I tell people all the time, that everyone asks me what about every rule that I love and everything like that. And I'm like, the life lessons I learned through baseball is really what I take.
Yeah, everything.
So when I interviewed for my first like real world job, I felt so stupid talking about like baseball and like intercollegiate athletics because they just don't get it.
Yeah.
If I put that in my resume, but after that interview, I just felt like an idiot because they were just like sports,
different worlds.
Like this is the real world. Sports don't matter.
Sorry, Terrence.
Yeah, sorry, Terrence. But like, so from then on, like I'd put it in my resume, but I wouldn't talk about it. Like it's like you have to like interview with somebody that is another like college athlete for them to get it.
Yeah,
and that's part of like going through the shit. So like if
you'll always go through it,
right?
Yeah.
Which brings me to another point of like I wanted to get your guys' opinion on. So baseball is an interesting sport where it's I've always seen where the next generation always feels like I'm sorry, the previous generation always feels like the next generation has it so much easier.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? Like I always like I feel like the guys that are playing now for the Steagles have it so much easier than what we had. And then the guys that played for the Williams feel like we had it so much easier than they had.
Yeah. But I think in a lot of ways that's true though. Not to say we're tougher, but like things physically change. Like they're NCAA now.
Right.
The rules are different.
Right.
Like, they have to change.
And correct. It does change. It did change the rules. It changes how much they're allowed to condition and shit like that. And so my question is, do you think that affects a camaraderie of a team? Because like you said, we went through some shit, some hell weeks that were bad, really bad conditioning wise. And they're not allowed to do that to them anymore. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. What's your opinion on that?
Probably a little bit, but I don't think that much because first I'll say some of like my best friends and our best friends came from the Williams era. Bud, Bonji, they're Williams guys.
Yeah.
Weasel, Steele, Matty T, all Williams dudes.
Yeah. That
had it tougher than us in their own way or whatever. But also some of my other closest friends are guys who had it a little easier than we did, going through the Steele era. But I think just going through an entire college season of baseball with guys like the Steagles are no nonsense. They're not sugarcoating shit. They're not sitting there like, oh, let's think about how these guys feel about this.
Yeah,
like,
there's no smoke.
No, they can't physically run as much anymore. I get their asses physically kicked in that regard.
Yeah.
But the Steagles are not good.
The mental warfare is still there.
That's and you're in it in that regard. And that, like, again, I go back to being deployed. I didn't have a hard job. Right. I sat in the back of an airplane and it was cush. It was nice. I would eat wings and stuff while we were watching bad guys get like melted. So it was, but being there, like the mental, emotional, like experience that you feel like only you guys have and share together, like on the road, eating Papa John's and Western sizzling all the time. Like you're not like, no matter how tough or what the area is, everyone's going through that. I think that's gonna.
I guess that does make sense. It's all relative.
It's all
what you experience. Yeah,
sure.
Because I have thought about that, but because I'm kind of one of those guys that's like, it sucks that they don't get to experience. Childless Steagles.
Oh, for sure.
The only thing that he was worried about was going home to watch the Cowboys.
Yeah, lose.
Yeah.
Choke again. But Yeah. Oh no, I'll always dog on them for being tougher than them.
For sure.
But here's the thing. It's my fucking show. I'm always tougher than all you bitches. So don't ever forget that. Like, it doesn't matter. So I'm always tougher. But
Toughest guy in the room.
you'll always feel that way. And that's how it is, I think, in life. Like, even when I think back to like high school, like my friends in high school, or like people I know, like my brother was a freshman when I was a senior, and I'm just like, we did this in high school 4 years ago. You didn't, like, it's just that natural.
Yeah. We see that at work too.
Yeah,
I don't know
you
if
did
Phil
definitely
said
do. I'm
that
sure
at
you
work.
guys
Yeah,
did.
like, oh, you guys have it so easy when I was at training.
You had
Right.
paper tickets or
Let me
whatever
tell
it
you,
was.
so for people that don't understand air traffic, so like every facility is rated on a scale of 4 to 12, 12 being the busiest, 4 being the least, right? So ours, we're a level 6, but we were a level 8 about 6-7 years ago. So half of our people are level 8 controllers, and they they have a different mentality.
That's a busy.
Like,
level 8 is a busier situation,
right?
right? Yeah.
We controlled F-16s. Like, you don't even know what traffic is. Yeah, and so then all the level 6s that are like coming up, like we don't care. We're just here to do this, and
Yeah.
It's
I remember,
it's,
I forgot.
it's very very bad at our facility,
Oh,
which sucks. But
I'm sure that's great for morale and the good
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
I mean,
Morale's real high.
Yeah,
I
in
don't,
our
morale.
traffic
I don't want to
facilities
go to
anyway.
our facility that bad, but it's bad.
It's tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough situation. I forgot Syracuse had F-16s at one point. I don't know if they still do, but
No,
I work
they
with
were-
those guys. They're drones now.
Yeah.
Those guys would come when I was stationed in South Dakota. They would come and get their currency hours with us on
Yeah,
mission.
they do. So they fly them out of Fargo now too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
They fly them out of Fargo, and us are the only commercial airports in the world that they fly the MQ-9s out
yeah,
of,
it's pretty cool.
which is cool. I mean, obviously F-16s are much cooler to like control and stuff.
Yeah,
But it is kind of cool, like when you call traffic to a regional jet, like traffic's MQ-9, and they're like, what? Like a Reaper,
you guys don't get it. Like, you guys don't get it.
He's already gone by the time.
Yeah,
you're
like,
there.
I get it because I'm cool and you pop your collar.
They do a lot of pattern work too, and so we get calls all the time from like idiots that are just like, "There's a drone over my house."
How fast?
Yeah.
One thing to talk about the Corona, going back to what we were talking
Yeah.
about, and I felt this when we first saw each other for the first time in 8 years or something, 2 years ago, right? You were here was the first time.
I don't know if it was maybe, yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
So it's one, and I haven't seen you since my wedding, and before my wedding, I hadn't seen you since college.
Yeah, since we both left the
It
apartment.
just feels like every time we get together, I've seen him now 3 or 4 times. And the first time I saw him after 8 years, it was like, brothers. Like
Yeah, it's the same.
It's you just pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what you do with people who are truly your best friends. I mean, I feel closer to him because we grew up together pretty much.
Yeah.
Those 4 or 5 years that we knew each other were some of the biggest.
That was
years
our first years on our own too. Like we were in high school,
right.
living with our parents, curfews, all that
Yeah.
shit, homework getting hit. Oh, maybe that was just me. I don't know.
No, we were going through shit.
We were going through all the shit together.
And we
everything.
lived together for a couple of years, so
Yeah.
we knew everything.
Yeah.
I mean, we relied on
Going
each
through
other.
the shit.
My
Yeah.
freshman year, or I guess my sophomore year, my first year playing baseball, who was it that got inducted into the Hall of Fame? It wasn't Luke Martin. It was
Oh, the one who
Kenny Holmberg?
no.
was it your first year?
Yeah, it
Is that
was.
what you
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Jared Mathis? Was that?
Yeah, Mathis.
Maybe.
The one who said I got a smoking hot wife. That guy.
Maybe
Yeah.
See,
Well, I do
WWE
remember.
wrestler?
Yeah. He's like, man, look at my wife. Isn't she smoking hot? We're all like,
Who is that? Yeah.
What I do remember from that speech was he said, Embry-Riddle baseball alumni, when they meet up, they don't shake hands, they hug. And I was like, that's
That's the
stupidest
lamest,
thing.
clearest.
Yeah, I was like,
Not that there's anything wrong with that, folks.
I was like, give me a break. And I think about that often. Every time like we get together, and
we all
stuff,
hug each other.
it's
100%.
so weird.
Yeah,
And
it's so weird.
It's weird that even transcended from the Williams era through the Stiegel era.
Yeah, for sure.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the same with every program. I don't know. But-
Probably not. We're the best program. Again, you're on my show. We're the best. We're the best
Yeah,
program.
we're
So
the fun.
yeah, so there's that.
Yeah.
But man, I don't. How long have we been going?
A while.
Over an
We're
hour
probably gonna
at
have to make
least.
some cuts here.
Yeah, no, we'll just keep it going. Just tell people, like, fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Terrence, fucking deal with it. But
Yeah, you know, you had people. You said that people were requesting us on the show. You have any questions or you know?
no,
what
so
people thought
there
would
was
be a fun topic?
most of them were just like, we want to get them on so you can talk about old war stories of like back in the day.
I mean,
You know,
there was no
like.
way that this conversation wasn't going to make its way to baseball.
Only, yeah.
I mean,
it can't not. I wouldn't allow it.
we
I wouldn't allow it in this program.
we didn't even talk about what we were going to talk about prior to plugging in. So
No, definitely not.
Yeah. And I knew for a fact it was going to go to baseball.
Yeah, but there's never like I have an agenda for myself because it's tough to sit and talk to yourself in front of a camera like a psychopath for 30 minutes. You have to kind of have some direction, but this is like it's always easy talking to your brothers because we can go on for hours. I could talk about when we were in Lewiston pumping Marlboro Reds and like it's
at the Dairy Queen
parking lot at some fucking table, a picnic table, pumping Reds, Bud Heavies or whatever we were doing, lattes, like whatever.
We weren't drinking.
We weren't drinking that because we were in Lewiston.
It was like a good luck cigarette.
Yeah, it was always a Marlboro Red. Yeah, and then back in Daytona, I remember Davis and I would be doing laundry, and it'd be like 2-3 in the morning. We'd have to redo laundry or some crap, and we're just like, screw it. We would wait for the laundry to be done. We'd go hit McDonald's for a latte or a McFloozy, and then we would hit the tarmac, and we would just sit there in his Honda. We would pump heaters and we would listen to T.I.
Yeah. And, you know, that could have been the birth of the show right there.
It could have been.
I mean, we literally, when we were stressed out and when we had to talk, we would go to Reamy's, grab a latte, you know.
Yeah. And we would talk about assholes, Stugatzes of the week, if you will.
Jabronis everywhere.
Yeah, it was a lot of BQs, beta bitch boys, like, and that's all we did. We bitched about how the fact that we were up for 20 hours. And then we were always going to be like the first couple guys at the field, even though we didn't play a damn. I remember one time, I'll never forget Steve Sabins, the year he was on the team with us, 2010. We were out to dinner for something. I forgot what it was. Like he had some friends in town or whatever. We went to dinner, and then he had some friends. Like the friends wanted to keep going out, and we had a game the next day. And I was like, I got a game. I'm not going to go. And Sabins was like, take them out. There was a couple girls there, I think, too. He's like. He just slaps a $20 bill in my hand. He goes, "You're not playing tomorrow, dude. Take him out, have a good time. You'll be all right." So I was just like, all right. And then same as he like hit 2 home runs that game. Yeah, but he was another good dude. And that was another guy like I haven't spoken to since then. But I promise you, if I see him, it'll just be like, brother. Yeah. And that was the thing. That's always going to be the thing. Is like, even when I fucking hate you, or when you and I would be quarreling hardcore. I'll remember our first year. It was at like Northwood, I think it was. That whole 3-game series was chaotic down in Florida, Northwood, Florida.
You guys beat
like emotionally draining.
It was. It was just a weekend. It was like that weekend we were.
You guys had like a quarrel.
It was a verbal, and it was
just pissing me off.
I was pissing him off, but his response was the one that was pissing me off, and I was just like, I remember that was the era we had all those magnetic like necklaces on, and I saw the Titans. That's it. Tucker had Tucker had like 6 of them or whatever, and you were wearing one, and I was like, Skip is like, what the hell are you guys jawing about over there? Because he was up in arms about this whole series too.
He was sitting with the cooler.
He had the Chinese water torch on his head. Because of the whole series of just fucking circus act. But
I love how he keeps saying, "I wasn't doing that."
I was calm and cool. I was just thinking about my next move. He was about to hit someone with a bat. But we were drawing. He's like, "What are you guys drawing about?" And I was like, "Phil's over here being a fucking freshman with his goddamn fight necklace." And I don't know why I said it. I just saw it, and that's what I just honed in on.
Like pick something
that's
out.
it. That was it. I said I hate on you.
And you just gotta go with it.
Yeah, and then like literally like after the game, we probably had Papa John's, the Papa, and then the next day we were just like, What's up, Phil?
Well, you know what helped was that we swept that series.
Yeah, we
like,
did.
Winning
Yeah.
cures. Coach always said that winning cures
Yeah,
a lot of problems.
Cures always.
Yeah,
which
it
was
really
crazy. And like that series, I think we were ranked at like 20 something, and we swept Northwood, who was ranked like 6th or something.
They were top 10, and it was like, why are these fucking guys top 10?
Yeah, and that like shot us up the rankings. And then we went on a streak that year.
Oh yeah, we started
won.
going.
I think we won like 18 games in a row.
Yeah, and that's when like CG Colin Gray
like,
batted. He had like a 21 or 22 game hitting streak too, and
We're-
it was like,
Well, to be fair, it was through like spring break when all the northern teams from like
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're better than them.
They come down the floor.
This is our
They
program.
haven't even
Best
seen
team ever.
the sun in 6
Oh,
months.
yeah.
They're just hitting in the cage.
We're
And they
housing
come in and
them.
just wax them. Get off our field, waxed. See ya.
Get the hell out of here.
Jamestown, waxed.
See ya.
Our team is
And then we
30
see
games
them in
in.
the World Series. Yeah, like they were good teams, but they hadn't seen a
It
live
was their
pitching
first.
in 8 months.
It was their
They
first
come down
week
and
of
they-
baseball.
We're like the peak performance.
Yeah, we
and
were-
they are like just barely starting.
It wasn't
like,
even
like
close.
it's
Yeah.
like 50-degree weather, and they're like shorts and a t-shirt, and we're like shivering.
Yeah, it was not
That
even
was
close.
the best.
Yeah, I remember our first year, Bud, the Bone Crusher, he pitched. It wasn't a perfect game, but he pitched 27 up, like 27 down. Like he like walked the dude and then like picked him off or something. The guy got a hit. Yeah, the guy got a hit and then he picked him off for a double play. And like it was 27 guys, and that was like the first time I ever lived that.
I didn't even know that was like I didn't even know it was happening.
Yeah, nobody.
I didn't know until after. So
Nobody
like,
did.
when I
He
read
just
the
fucking
article, or
shoved it
something.
up their ass at spring break. It was killer. Yeah, but you would just crush those teams, and it was great. Like, I mean, I didn't play, but I saw it happen. But that's what it was. It was like winning. We were always highest up when we were winning because things were good.
Right? Yeah, it was like I said, it was like it cures everything.
Yeah,
but
you need that.
The other thing is that we were lucky enough. I shouldn't say lucky enough. We were blessed to have. That was like our only losing streak, like the beginning of our freshman year.
We were 500 at some point, and we were like under 500. And I remember like assuming we weren't going to make the playoffs and like weren't going to continue because I didn't like know anything, like know what to expect. And I remember texting or sending an email to my old coach and saying, "Hey, when I come back in May when school ends, can I come like work out with the team and like practice with you guys?" Because I thought our season was
going to be over. Yeah.
And then everything happens and we made the playoffs, and then obviously we play into June.
Yeah.
But I had no
You're talking about the first year. Right?
first year. Yeah.
After that, there was there was nothing else. We were going.
We were
Right.
going.
We were
Yeah.
going.
And then no
Right.
matter what, even 2010 when we were like a little bit struggling against St. Thomas with the rivalry and stuff, and we're just like,
We played them 8 times that season. Did you know that?
I did
And
not.
it could have been 9 had we lost or won a
Game in
different
the conference.
Like
Yeah.
because we played them 3 in the regular season and then 2 in the conference tournament. Either 2 or 3 in the conference tournament, and then 2
or
in
3 in the
regional.
regional. Yeah.
It's called.
Yeah, we played. Yeah, we did play. I didn't even realize that. But even then, it was like we're not making it.
Yeah.
We're gonna find a way.
Yeah.
Even up to the last pitch, I was like, I can't. Like we're gonna make it. Something's gonna happen. And then. Baji, and it was like a curveball, and the bastard never hits curveballs. And I can say that because you're my brother, Baji. You don't hit curveballs for shit, and you crush it and you saved it. And to this day, it'll always go down in history for me in my life as
one of the greatest moments of my
the
life.
greatest
Oh, yeah.
baseball moments of my life. Not even close.
Not even close. Yeah.
Not even close.
The overall, I guess we're going to talk about this now. The overall feeling of going from the lowest of lows to the highest of highs,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I cried.
Everyone was
I don't
crying.
even know- Yeah.
It was the crying state. Everyone was crying because we were about to lose and get knocked out, and our senior season, my senior season was going to be over. It went from crying bad to crying good. The crying didn't stop. It just kept going.
You just didn't know what the hell. I remember I was leaning on the chair and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, this is the first time
This sucks.
that we're going
Bullshit.
home at this
Yeah.
time. Oh my god,
Yeah,
this fucking
We're
blows.
better. We deserve, this is not how we should go down. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
We got dominated for 17 innings because we played them twice. They had to beat us twice,
Mhm.
so they beat us in the first game, and then they whooped
Beat
our ass
us.
for 8 innings of the second game. and I pitched the top of the. I'm sorry, we were the home team, so I pitched the top of the ninth.
Top 9, yeah.
Okay, so we ended up going in the bottom of the ninth, down 1, and or was it down 2? Or we were down?
No, it was 2-1. We were down 2 to 1.
Down 2. Yeah. Okay, so I come off of the field, down 1 in the bottom of the ninth inning when we go up to bat, and so I go back to the dugout, and I'm like, my confidence was high. I was, for some reason in my head, I was like, this game is not over. Like,
you also had a 0 ERA through the entire season.
Like
one guy touched
it.
One guy touched the ball. Like it was me and Ben. It's an inter squad.
Phil was walking around his giant balls.
Giant balls and stick figure, everything else.
It had nothing to do with it. I was just in the game. I felt like we were in.
It was fine. Everything was fine.
And so, like, I'm sitting on the bench and I have a towel around my arm, like I always do when I'm in between innings where I'm going to go back out. And so, like, I'm not even thinking that it's the 9th inning. I'm thinking like I'm going back out there. And I remember sitting on the top of the bench, and Stiegel was walking down the dugout, shaking people's hands, saying like, "I appreciate all the effort that you did."
You're like, get the hell out.
He came up and like I was like, "Get the fuck out of my face!" Like, I'm thinking that. Obviously, I didn't say it. And he came up and he shook my hand, and I was like, "Hey, if we tie, I'm going back out, right?" He was like, "Yeah, whatever." And then like continues on, and then not like a couple minutes later,
You know what?
Bonji hits the hit.
Yeah, I think back to it. Our first year, our freshman year, we had a bunch of walk-off wins.
Oh yeah,
we had a bunch of
for sure.
So
we knew how to do it.
I think that it was ingrained in our minds.
We were like seasoned veterans in the walk-off win.
Yeah,
Missouri Baptist.
WOW.
We never remember Missouri Baptist.
8-1.
8 runs.
Yeah.
8 runs.
8 runs. That's what it was. And
I ended up playing with a guy in Indie Ball that was on that team. Yep.
That's what they call themselves. Yeah.
And so he found out. I found out that he played for Mobac. He found out I played for Amarillo. And I was like, you didn't play for them in like 2008. 2008. And he was like, yeah.
He knew.
Fuck you guys.
That's what you get, man.
We always talk about that loss. We still talk about that loss.
8 runs in the last inning.
Yeah.
We tie it up, and then that was it. After that, once you tie up after that, the momentum's completely gone. We win.
Those
like
motherfuckers were white on our field too, right?
Yeah, they were. They were wearing white on the field. It was an unwritten rule.
Yeah. I just remember that being a big deal. Like, they were white on our field.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was motivation.
It didn't matter. Yeah, it didn't matter what it was, but it was just.
But you are right. We knew how to walk off.
Yeah, especially the core guys in the 2010 season.
Yeah,
we were everybody, like most of the starters, a good portion of them were from that same year, so they knew like.
And even going into the World Series, we walked off our first win against was it Tennessee Westland?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
man,
we were.
Quinn pitched 11. And I pitched 1. I got
That's
the win.
right. I got the W.
I just had to balk the guy over, score.
That was awesome. Poor Quinn. That was a good game, but
Bonji was just Mr. May. I mean,
crushing.
Every clutch hit we needed. It was the same way Colin Gray was our freshman year.
Yeah, I mean, where he batted like 600 for like a stint.
Him and Kyle. I mean, anytime we needed a clutch hit and they were up. Like,
it was a guarantee. It was like, thank God these guys are up because they're gonna get hit now or an RBI.
And it's crazy being on a team like that because like you're just hoping the lineup turns around at the right point when we have guys on. Yeah, and that's the way it was happening in 2010.
And that was the thing. I think that changed our mindset in our lives too. Is that you're never out of it, But I feel like from that point on, it was like no matter what the situation is, we are never out of it. I don't remember a time where I we are so fucked. Never.
No,
and 4 years.
And this is a character flaw. One of the few character flaws that I do have is that when people have even like a hint of that mindset in them for any reason whatsoever, even if it's 100% justified, I'm just like,
I know,
you're a fucking bitch. You're done. Yeah. I'm gonna be like whatever it is. You're done. I don't want you on my team. I don't want you in my military. Whatever it is, it's just like I can't have that shit here because that's not how it's good. That's not how it is. Like get out of here with that. Yeah. Even if it's completely justified, it's like you probably should be thinking that. It's like,
but even
get the
if
hell
it's
out.
like the most insignificant thing that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I can't think of a good example, but something that like just isn't significant as far as like, like a career or like your job or something.
Oh, yeah.
But as soon as somebody gives you that telltale sign that they're not in, see it.
It's over. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it too, where it's like you ask someone like, "Hey, what do you want to do with whatever?" You know.
Mhm.
Oh, I want to do this. It's like, okay, well, how come you haven't done it yet? Well, and as soon as I hear, it, I was like, nope, bye. And again, there could be like, well, my mom just died, so, and it's like, I don't care. I mean, I do care, but it's as soon as I hear that, and I know I'm sure I do it too subconsciously, where it's like, this is an invalid excuse, a logical reason why, but it's like, I catch myself. I'm like, no, it's not, you bitch.
Right.
Like, get your shit together, like, because I know you guys would be all over me. Ghouls would be all over me. Blood would be all over me. Bosch, like everybody would just, if they knew that I was thinking that for a second, they'd just be like, "What are you fucking doing, dude?"
Right.
So
you know what's funny? It's funny that you say that is because one of the reasons I didn't go back to Florida, but one of the reasons I wasn't looking forward to going back to Florida was because I put on all that weight after baseball. In all honesty, I thought to myself, I can't go back.
A lot of people put on
I know,
yeah.
but I was like,
Not
I'm
me,
gonna go
but
back. Sarge's gonna kill me. And Bud's gonna say that, you know. And it's scared, man. I said it to her all the time.
You told me at your wedding, you talked about that. You're like, dude, I'm working. I haven't been working. I've been so lazy. I feel terrible. I don't want to go out and hang out with you guys. I couldn't. And I'm just like, we're gonna fucking make fun of you. And this is, and I remember this. I had this conversation with him.
I don't even remember this. I must have been drunk. So.
Yeah. So for everyone's knowledge, and we'll plug you at the end. But you got your personal trainer certification recently.
Yeah.
And you lost, 70, 80 pounds, whatever it was?
75.
Yeah, which is amazing. And I remember you had the conversation with me earlier this year. It was like, I want to do this, and I want to post, like, my progress, but I'm a little self-conscious because I don't want you guys to bust my balls. And I had the conversation with you, and I was like, dude, we're going to fucking bust your balls no matter what. There's no doubt in my mind that no matter what you do, or what you do, or what I do, like, you have to, like, we're gonna bust your balls. So just go finish your certification, go post a picture, D-shirt, be a fucking man about it, and take your licks like a goddamn man. Because we're gonna rip you to shreds. We're gonna try to circle back to when you were fat so we can make fun of you. It doesn't matter. But the fact that you know in your heart that we're like super supportive, we couldn't be happier that you're not Cobblepot anymore. I remember I said such a stupid joke to him, and I was like, he showed me the picture of him D-shirted for the first time ever, and he's like skinny and ripped and all that.
You gotta tell it back.
So here's a quick backstory because we're going on like, who's the hell knows? I'm drunk all day.
The girls are entertaining themselves.
Yeah,
they'll be fine.
So back when David's was big, he was Cobblepot, like, and we always made fun of her looking like Oswald Cobblepot from Batman Returns, fatter dude, and he lost all this weight. Like, I don't know how long did it take you? Like a year?
It took me a year. Yeah, I went from 220 to 150. Actually, I got down to 145. That's the 75.
Yeah. So all we knew David's as was like heftier guy. He had some knee injury that I always thought was bullshit.
Phantom knee.
A phantom knee injury where he never could run when we needed him to run. It was all the stuff that we made it out to be like, you're a bitch. You don't have a real injury. You're just faking it. So we just rag on you relentlessly for decades now. Like,
first 2 years of college was a little rough.
Yeah, it was rough. And
definitely made me tougher.
But you made it through it. That's what.
Right.
And again, these guys are my brothers now. So
yeah, and that was the thing, was like we always made fun of each other, but we always had each other's back. Unless you like, we always made a mistake on defending the wrong guy. I could say that there's a couple soft serve guys that
I know exactly
from in this area.
Yeah. So we make mistakes, but at the end, usually we would always have each other's back. But when you lost that weight, like, I'm always going to be the guy to make fun of you. Bud is always going to rip you to shreds publicly and to your face and all that shit. But deep down, it's like, you fucking did it, dude. And it was super impressive. Yeah. And that's the same way I felt about when you went from like throwing 75 miles an hour to being literally a Hall of Fame pitcher for Embry Riddle. Like, that's something that people don't know, is like Phil's in the Embry Riddle Hall of Fame for baseball. Like well, I'll rip on you all the time. I'll call you a freshman. I'll call you a stick figure, a wet cat all the time.
Yeah.
I'll call you fat cobblepot. Like, it doesn't matter. We know, like, I couldn't, like, when that happened, when I heard about you doing that, and when you showed me the picture going from almost 300, I don't know how much it was, 270? 220. You're a little I forgot. Yeah. So I guess it's all relative. But when you show me the actual picture, like, you would never de-shirt. That was a thing we always joked about in college. Yeah. Like, we were roommates.
At the beach.
Yeah, we were roommates.
Swimming in the water. Shirt on.
In the clubhouse.
The boogie boarding fat kid.
Yeah, with the shirt on. It was always the Ohio State basketball jersey with the blood stain.
Yeah, cutoffs, right?
Yeah, it was a like
oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
And I wasn't even, the other thing was I wasn't even fat then. I was like 170.
You were not fat
compared to you guys. I felt so.
You were.
Yeah, it was a mental. It was you were mentally fat. Yeah. And you would never de-shirt. And even in, like, we were roommates, and you would still have a problem with it. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you have a problem with this?
We literally shared a room. And I, would, go in the bathroom and take pictures.
And then, so we always joked about the pool, the beach, and then when you're like, I'm self-conscious, I was like, dude, fucking do it. And I'm sure other people with more influence told you, like, fucking do it. And then he posted it, and I was like, I cannot believe it. I couldn't believe it. And I ripped on it. I was like, and I put in the comments, I was like, going from cobble pot to cobble dot. And I was like, I was such a loser. I don't give a shit, dude. Like, you earned it. You earned that lame compliment. But it was incredible. We're still going to fucking know about it. But yeah, it was, because that was always the jab that we knew would get you.
Yeah,
I call him because
I don't know why that would be so.
I know why.
You can't let our crew
know your weakness.
What your weakness is,
because they're gonna hone in.
You really can't.
Yeah, and that was like, I know me personally. Like, if I eat too many slices of pizza, like last night we went to John's and Bleeker's, best pizza in America I've had so far.
I'm glad that you like it, because I talked it up. I thought I talked it up too much to you. And I didn't want to sway.
It's incredible. I almost had a full pie myself. Yeah. I crushed slices, and I got home to the apartment, and I was just like, "You're a fat shit." And I felt bad mentally. I was mentally
shit
fat.
on you.
I was mentally fat, so I get it, and I'm not like I always feel that way, but I'm not as fat as you were at your worst. I'm not dogging on you, but
that's what I always think about. Man, I feel fat. I'm not as fat as
I always say that was always our joke. Was like, it could be worse. It could be dating David. So that was always the joke. It was like, at least you're not dating David's. But when you like. So I get the mental, like, no matter what you're, like, we always feel like that. I know it's like one of those things where it's like, only chicks feel like that. Guys are tough. It's like, we're tough. I know we're alphas. We're on this show. We're alphas, but we're also human beings, so we feel that way. But when you posted that, I couldn't dog on it. Like, I thought I'll still roast you, but like in real life, I was just like,
oh, I know the group chat was going.
Yeah, everyone was like, there's people like, did he really do that? Like, what happened? Like, is he gonna get fat again? I was like, no, dude. Like, there's nothing I could say bad about this. He fucking did it. Like, and I was super pumped. And that's one of those things is like you get from being part of that brotherhood with the Eagles that you don't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's like,
and that goes back to like when I was interviewing for a job and trying to explain what that is.
Like, you wouldn't get it.
Nobody fucking gets it.
No.
And I was so naive in the beginning. Like I tried to explain. Nah, I mean, you can't. Even to like people that I work with now.
Coworkers now, exactly.
It's not. They don't get it.
Dude, I'm closer with you two, and I haven't seen you in 3 years. And before the last time I saw you was 10 years, whatever. I'm closer with you guys than anyone else. That maybe Josh. Josh is.
Oh, Joe Rifkin.
Yeah, Josh is.
I always called him Joel. I don't know why. He's a good guy. His name is Josh.
I've been there my whole life.
Yeah.
Other than him, I mean, you guys are family.
Yeah.
I see you guys. Look at us now. I mean, we've been talking all fucking day. We're still talking.
We're still crushing. Yeah, endless, and it can go on forever. And that's the thing is like, it's a little easy for me because when I'll do interviews for particular jobs in the military, it's easy to kind of transfer. Like the deployed life is very similar because you're in shit. So it's like when they ask you, like, "Oh, tell me about a time that you dealt with strife," and it's like, well, deployment. You know the deployment stories. Like every military interviewer for whatever knows about deployment stories. Like, well, we dealt with this in baseball, and they're like, baseball, huh? I was like, listen, look, trust me on this. Like we went through we went through shit together. Right. The running and the conditioning in baseball is harder than anything I've done so far in the military. Yeah. I mean, I'm in the Air Force. It's like you said, the dentistry of the medical field is like. Sorry, Mike Greer. I know your family's a bunch of dentists. They're super successful and great people, but that's what it is. But yeah, that's just one of those things. It's like you'll never get it. Sorry. Yeah. Like I don't know how to explain this to you for you to get it, other than actually doing the do.
Right. Yeah.
So.
And that's what, like. I whenever I'm like when I move on in my career and I'm at a point where like I'm making decisions probably after air traffic, and if I end up going to a private company or something like that, I'm doing hiring, I will probably only seek out athletes.
Yeah,
and it's probably against the law to do that, but like there's something different.
For the record, if he's not doing that.
There's something different.
He's thinking it.
Yeah, but he's not saying it.
There's something different about a college athlete, and then your few pro athletes.
Yeah.
That it's a different animal. It's a different mindset from the person that wasn't that. And it's not to say that someone that didn't play college sports isn't a hard worker.
Right. It's
but
just
you just know they had that extra level of you could rip into them and they will respond.
There's a couple anomalies, obviously, but
but if you make it through 4 years of a college sport in a normal program, if your boss rips into you, you'll positively respond to it. I mean, you have to.
You'll adjust accordingly.
You wouldn't have made it through sport. You wouldn't have made it through 4 years of it.
For sure.
I'll tell you this. I have a couple clients with CrossFit's fan. But I have a couple clients that I work with nutrition and working out and everything. And the difference between the 10 clients I have that are not college, that were
just
normal people,
yes, probably good people, but
great people. The way I handle them, is so much different than I have a former D1 college athlete, a women's basketball player, and she just jumped right in. She's like, "What are we doing? How are we doing this? I got to get this done." Yeah, and it's just a big difference. Not that these people aren't as successful.
It's different. It's just different. That's it. We're 2020 here. So we gotta coddle the fucking emotions of everybody, but it's just different. Yeah. I actually work with a dude when I'm up here in New York. He is an Embry-Riddle basketball alumni from Arizona, and it literally assumed like he had a certificate up of like he made like I forgot one of the All-Americans out there. Mm. They're still in AIA, but I saw that and I was like, hey dude, did you go to Embry-Riddle? He's like, yeah, Arizona. I was like, Daytona, and that was it. Like I get, like you get it. I mean, he's like, God, he's way younger. Like he just graduated this past spring or whatever. But it's you got it. Like it's one of those things where you just understand. It's similar to the military, and that's why I always like draw these parallels between competitive athletics and the military is because that camaraderie, like it's almost forced upon you. But there's people I met on my deployment that are on the same level as. Like some of my other best friends from high school and stuff, immediately, Right. And the same as like you guys. It's like as soon as we went through the shit, that was that. Yeah. There's nothing that, unless you tell me that like you're becoming like a communist or you're gonna reinvigorate the Nazi party or something like that, right? And you're gonna be completely anti-American, or like. Nah, we're gonna be boys for it, And that's the thing.
And it's funny because like we've been closely interacted with so many different personalities throughout our 3 or 4 years within a baseball program, within a college athletics program, however you want to look at it, to where you just see some people just don't have it, they don't want it, and they just kind of get weeded out. It's a weird. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just a weird thing where like you can just tell the guys that just don't get it, that don't want it, that just...
And you don't know what it is. You can't explain it, but it's just like, you got it, you don't.
Right.
I don't know what it is, but you're missing it.
Yeah,
Right.
and you see it with their traffic too. I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure you guys do,
in
for sure.
any job,
Any world
in
that you're in, yeah.
in any part of real
for sure.
society.
Like
You
what
can
Coach Siegel always used to say, right? If it's the shit will sift itself out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say you're soft. Yeah. Or the Cowboys are good, or some bullshit like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, and I have to catch myself sometimes. Like I said, like there will be times where you meet, like most of the people you meet are just like, you don't got it.
Yeah.
You haven't lived the same life that I have, and it's tough for me to kind of be like, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what their story is, but I still have a hard time like coming together with somebody who hasn't been through shit like that or hasn't competed up at all. And we could be the old assholes going through like, oh, the younger generation doesn't compete as much and they get participation trophies and all that shit. Yeah. But it's like, those people that are not used to fighting for what they want and earning what they want. And that was something that we got forced on. It was like, if you want this, and that was the greatest thing about playing there was like, for the most part, it was not about, well, this guy's dad is rich or this is political.
It was that was one of the most refreshing things about the Steagles because that's the high school program that I came from.
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember you telling me that.
That's the reason. I mean,
politics.
It's all politics from like, people may disagree with me, and nobody's listening to this podcast from my high school.
Yes, but not yet. Not till we're big. Yeah, not till we're bigger than Rogan.
Yeah, right. That's what it was. Like, it was all politics for that team. Yeah. So, like, that's the reason why I didn't make the team. I had the talent to make it.
A high school team in fucking Virginia.
Yeah, like, they only kept, like, 16 guys or something like that. Like,
which is ridiculous.
So, whatever.
Look, if I could make my baseball team, which was, like, tops in the nation, you could have made your fucking team.
And that's for sure. So, like, it's just... Like, that was the breath of fresh air with the Steagles, was there was zero politics.
You earned it. And that was one thing that I felt like, even though there was people on the team that I didn't like and didn't respect because they were like weaker or they ended up getting sifted out, like he said.
And let me caveat that too, because there is a difference between who's getting a full ride scholarship and someone who's a walk-on.
Right.
And
sure.
that equates to a major league team where like a first round draft pick that got a $20 million signing bonus is going to get an opportunity to play in the big leagues. There's even if they're not good, they will play in the big leagues.
The money's
invested. So any full ride scholarship that comes in Riddle is going to play.
Right.
So even if they suck, they're going to play. But so that I don't see as politics. That's just how the business works.
It's a business portion of it, the financial portion. I got it. I don't like it because I didn't get scholarship money. Yeah. But
you say going to play, you mean on the team, but there were times there were guys with full rides sitting on the bench.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That's what made it. That circled back to the refreshing thing.
Everybody would get their opportunity, but you knew that the guys that were getting their full ride were definitely going to get their opportunity.
Yes, right. But that was the thing. Was like, I was always pissed. There was a lot of times where it was like, I could have been DH in this game because this guy's an asshole. And he doesn't try hard and whatever. And Skip could have put me in to be DH because I walked a lot. I had a high on base percentage, whatever. That was just internal like bias. But at the end of the day, like I never went home like this guy's not giving me a fair shake. Yeah. It was always like this guy's put out the best team, what he thinks is the best, and what he thinks is gonna be the most competitive out there. Fucking respect it.
Yeah.
And that was just another thing that was like so refreshing and nice that kept me in that school too, because you know how I feel about every Riddle. It was like I got loans to pay. Like that's a lot of that fucking school. But
I think it was more of like you wish you had the chance to help out in the game, to help the team out.
That's what it was.
Not so much like why aren't I getting a chance?
Yeah, it was like I'm not. It wasn't like I'm good enough. I should be out there. It was like I want to be out there because. How cool would it be if I got on base and a guy scored and it was because I like worked the walk or whatever? It was like I could contribute. Like that was the thing you wanted to contribute, not you wanted to be the star. Right. It was, and that was the mindset that they built.
That was the core of those teams that played 3 or 4 years. The first 3 or 4 year guys to play for the Steagles.
Yeah, definitely. It was great.
Which is a rarity, I think, in any program.
Yeah, and that's something that like. that whole experience.
Are we gonna do this for longer?
No, we're gonna be done soon because I gotta piss like a racer.
I gotta piss. Let me take. We could do this all night.
We've been going like almost 3 hours.
3 hours.
I don't know how long it's been. It's been a while.
I feel like we should keep going.
We can't keep going, but
We need to get Mosier to retweet this or something.
we should. Yeah, we should hit him up.
I mean, this is basically a Never Riddle podcast.
But it's also a life lesson too. Like it's transcending baseball.
All right, well, let me go take a piss. You guys continue.
Yeah.
And we'll see if it continues.
Yeah, hurry up.
When I get back.
Yeah,
Keep going.
yeah, because I got piss too. But that was the thing. Like the experience of every Riddle baseball. Not every Riddle, like I could go on and on about it, but was
Eagles baseball.
Yeah, it was things that I can apply to my life.
Oh yeah. Well,
More so than anything I paid my tuition for in classes and stuff. Like I never even physically saw my fucking degree. It was mailed home. My parents have it in a closet somewhere in a box right now. I never seen it. I never used it. But those experiences and lessons in competing, earning what you want, working together in stressful situations. I'm drunk, so I'm slurring my speech. Like that stuff is what I use still today.
Yeah.
And I not that I judge people on it, but like that's the expectation I have. Like be able to deal with stress, come together as a team. You don't have to like people personally, but you got to figure the fuck out. And that's what they taught us. And that's something like. Yeah. Again, I hated you in the beginning. I was like, I wanted nothing to do with you. I hated Bud because he hated me. I was like, why is this guy so like me? He was such a dick to everybody.
I loving Bud, but he was
such a dick to everybody. Dude. But at the same time, to put it in perspective, he dogged on me and hated me. But I was like, yeah, but I hate David's more. Because you're the Jersey piece of shit that's trying to steal my Jersey's vibe. Like, I don't think so, buddy.
My spiked hair and my chain.
Yeah.
But the thing about Bo, we were talking about him earlier, is, because Aaron asked me, like, what is this whole Cobblepot thing, right? And then we explained it to her. Oh, Oliver's making an appearance on the show. Yeah. Say hello, Oliver. Was... he was just a savage, bro, our freshman year. Like, my freshman year, he was absolute savage. But, when I really started really liking him was when he got his Tommy John surgery, and he had a rehab, and I was with him every day. Once he started throwing. Yeah. I was with him almost every day. We were going through the throwing program and everything like that, and that's kind of where we kind of built a friendship. But before that, I was like, this guy is such a dick, bro.
He gave me my nickname, Sarge.
Sarge, yeah.
And to this day,
to
this day, a lot of people on the team don't even know my real name.
Yeah.
Like my first name. In fact, my little quote-unquote scholarship I got for doing laundry for the team, Skip on the contract put Sarge Libretti, and he's like, you need you to sign this. So I was like, oh, I can't sign this. He's like, I'm giving you money, dude. I was like, you put Sarge. He's like, oh, shit. He goes, spell your first name. I was like, you don't remember. He's like, shut up and sign it.
Did you get the nickname Sarge the same day that you got hit in the tooth on that ground?
No, it was
ball?
before this.
Okay, all right.
So the Sarge thing came because I was in ROTC, obviously.
Yeah.
And I always, for whatever reason, my class schedule for ROTC coincided right after practice or anything baseball related.
Right.
So I always showed up in uniform like a fucking goof. So I always was in the uniform. And I remember the one day we had our physical exams, medical physicals, and I was in my Blues uniform, which is like our service dress, like a suit almost,
Right.
And that was the day the doc made us run around to get our heartbeat up, and then take our heartbeat, see if we had arrhythmias or some shit like that. And I'm in my Blues, no shoes, socks. Like he made us take his shoes off, and I was running up and down the hallway. I didn't really know anything. It was like the first week.
That was in. Was it in? Oh yeah.
It was in ICI.
When Tucker showed up to that same physical with 3 wooden bats,
and
6
gloves, and
gloves, I'm the next shortstop.
He was like, I was like, who's this asshole with his blonde hair and baby bald eagle hair?
I'm just trying to make the team.
Yeah, and I'm in my Blues. They had Frankenstein was the doctor, that giant doctor. I forgot his name. He's a genius though. But he's like making you run it up and down. I was like, I suck. And then Bud was like, "This guy sucks. I'm going in on him." And he kept calling me like Sergeant Slaughter or Sergeant Savage, like just as a like make him like this guy's such a loser. I hope I rip him until he quits or something.
You know, Bud is like he was like the bully in the '90s sitcom.
He was like the Biff Tannen.
Yeah.
He was like the Biff Tannen, except he wasn't like Baji is the size of Biff Tannen, but Bud was the aggression of Biff.
But he's different
future.
because he was only bullying to see if you could handle it.
If you could handle it, it was a
Once you realized
test.
that
Yeah.
you could handle it.
Yeah.
Because I got the same shit.
It wasn't an insecurity.
I hated Bud.
Everybody did. Everybody hated Bud.
But then at the end of freshman year, it like I realized that he realized like, okay, like this is the guy, and I could see the people that he still didn't respect
because they were a bunch of beta bitch boys.
Yeah. And
so
then you start to realize, oh, okay, this guy is thinking 2 steps ahead of me.
Yeah, it was more like he was playing bully chess.
Yeah.
And all those fucking weaklings those betas were playing checkers, tic-tac-toe or something. But and that was the thing, is like you hit that once you hit that like plateau, it was instant best friends with Bud. Yeah. It was like once you earned it,
turned over.
Yeah, he's still a dick, and I tell him that. But he like that's like a term of endearment now. It's like you're an asshole and you're my brother. You know? So
there's a million different ways you can go about like motivating people, and that you need someone like that.
You need
on
it,
a team, which was like
It was such an easy way to filter out because guess what? All those people that that still don't like him or didn't stay on the team or whatever.
Yeah.
They're dead to me.
Oh yeah.
Like it was such a good tryout for friendship, if you will.
Yeah.
And I was just like, those guys were no fucking shot. Look at Oliver hitting the screen right now. That's the cat hitting our camera here, folks.
Same cat from college.
Look, this is a real amateur hour going on right now. We're amateur 2 hours. I'm drunk. I'm slurring my speech. I got a giant nose. Taking on the screen. We got a fucking cat on the screen. We got 2 cats on the screen right now. It's a free-for-all here. Terrence, don't watch this show. I'm telling you, I'll text you later. Don't watch this program in front of your family. They're too good for this. God damn it, man.
Oh, man. It's just a road trip down memory lane, you know?
Yeah, it is. And I could talk, and this is one of those things that I need, like, this is something that I need. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I need this every once in a while, which is great why I live, like, this is great that I live so close to Bud to be able to tap back into that because I don't know how you feel. And I didn't even play on the team much. Like, I was just on the team, and I played baseball my whole life. Being done with baseball was, like, to me, like losing your best friend.
Yeah, it's depressing.
It hurt. And Buhlmeyer said that to me once. Rich said that he's like, it's like you losing your best friend. And he's like, I was like, fuck, you're right, dude. Because you know that first year after I graduated, I was stationed in Pensacola, like, what was it, 4 to 6 hour drive away? Oliver.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
4 to 6 hour drive away, and I was down in Daytona every weekend during the season because I couldn't lose it. It was just like, I can tap back into it. I need to because I didn't want to lose my best friend. And that was, you got, like, it was collective best friend, you know?
I have an interesting perspective on that because, and I think it's probably pretty unique because most people that listen to this that know me know that I was cut from my high school team.
Oh, yeah.
So when I got cut from high school, basically I thought baseball was over after I was done with baseball. Right?
Yeah.
So I experienced that. I already knew what it was like to have baseball over, right? Got cut my freshman year of college, just reaffirmed baseball was over.
Dead, yeah.
And then at the end of college, it was the same thing. Went undrafted, which I had a super slim chance of getting drafted. Baseball was over. And then the only reason I ended up getting picked up for independent ball was I was out recruiting with Thurno, and literally I was standing with Thurno, and then Thurno is everybody. So he's talking to some scout from some major league team, whatever. And he goes, so what happened to your guys' closer last year? Where'd he end up signing? And he goes, Thurno was like, he's right here. Yeah. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why aren't you playing somewhere? And I was like, I don't know. Nobody gave me a shot. Yeah. He was like, go play independent ball for a year and sign somewhere. And so then that motivated me to sign with Independent League the next year. So I did that. And then when I came back the second year, got hurt, thought it was over again. So I've had 3 or 4 times after surgery, went back and continued to play independent. So I've had like 3 times where like baseball has been over. And so, like, I've been able to, like, experience that so many different times.
That hurts.
And it fucking hurts. It
Yeah.
hurts the same every single
It's
time.
like, it's like a breakup.
And you know it too. That was one thing Skip said was like, I forgot what year it was, maybe my second or even my senior year there, where he was like telling the team like you're gonna miss it when like you think now you got it forever. The game goes on. Yeah, and you know you're gonna be done. It's gonna hurt after, and like I knew it was coming because I was not playing pro. Obviously, I knew it. I was like, I'm gonna graduate. I'm gonna be in the Air Force, and you know it's coming. You can count it down, and even after that, it was just like it was tough. It was like losing a best friend.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
It's it's depressing. Like I'm an upbeat guy anyway, so like it's easy for me to continue to like keep the course and like stay ahead. Like it's not gonna like affect me in like a super
debilitating way. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But like I often literally have dreams about still playing. When I wake up, I'm like, fuck, that was a dream.
Look, this sounds crazy. Well, I'm a fucking mental case to begin with, but I literally. I'm not exaggerating. This is not a dramatic rant. Every night, I have like a dream where I'm at the plate of any situation. I'm up there. Even sometimes I'm playing a position where I like a pitcher or whatever. Like I'm just playing baseball. It's every night since then that I've had a dream of me doing baseball related things. Even I'll have dreams of me like being in my backyard now, getting soft toss with frozen peas to work on my hand-eye coordination. Or hitting like off the tee or anything like swinging, and then I'll just find myself in like when I'm awake, like I'll be out there waiting for something in line or something. And I'm just like taking dry hacks, like it's always there. And I wasn't even a player, like I wasn't, and I know I wasn't that good, but I was always like in my brain still to this day. It's just like it's never gonna go away.
When it was crazy when the real thing was done, I was doing the bullpen catching and stuff like that. That kind of like. It didn't replace it because it was so different.
It was helpful.
So different, but it was like
weaning you off it.
Yeah. It was like, come out and warm up and pitch was like, okay, hell yeah, I'll do it. And I felt like I was part of the team and everything like that, and that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then when I got done, I came up here, right, because I got the air traffic job. I came up here and I started playing in men's league. And this is gonna sound so dickish, but. It wasn't close to the same. I was going from these minor league stadiums that were freaking awesome to like the rec park in Massapequa that wasn't cut.
It probably helped you get off of baseball, the addiction.
Oh, it pushed me away. I was like, what? I don't want to be involved in this.
Yeah, and then you talked about it on the last podcast.
The Ballstein Brewers.
Yeah,
that helped a little bit too. Yeah. It's still tough for me, but that definitely helped.
But I'll tell you this. I said I would never play softball. I started playing softball 3 years ago. Best decision I ever made. I'll tell you what. No, listen to me.
I know because you're a bitch and you want to play softball. Got it. You're like,
because it gives
you would play softball though if it was like me, you, Bud, him.
If it was our guys.
Because when we played, because I wasn't playing men's league until it was me, you, and Bud.
Yeah, if it was, I'll play fucking ping pong with you guys. It doesn't matter.
That's why this isn't a church league or anything. It's a pretty competitive league.
Yeah.
And I look forward every Thursday. I look forward every Monday just to be out on the field and like play.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Sure.
I don't even care. There's a lot to be said with that kind of player that like has to keep baseball in their life that become coaches. You see guys like Jeff Lemon. I mean, obviously Stiegel and Thurno, the Stiegels and Thurno.
Yeah.
Like they were that kind of player.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I at one point I wanted to get into coaching and it didn't make sense for me career wise, so like I went into the avenue of air traffic, which is what I studied. But like you see a lot of coaches that have that passion, they have to stay around the game.
Yeah, no, I get it. And there's sometimes I always feel like man, I could give it all up right now to be an assistant coach if I could pay my student loans.
Right. Yeah.
Then I would, for sure.
And that's the thing. So there's a lot of this kind of goes along the same lines.
You keep talking. I got to piss.
Go. Yeah.
You guys can still have a show even without me.
So
going.
Along the same lines as teachers and like low level college baseball any sport really, but baseball in particular, because we have experience. They don't get paid that well, right? But they do it because they love it, and that is almost a good thing for the profession, right? So like teachers love teaching, so you know you're going to get the ones that love it when pay is not like super high, and that's kind of the same way with like lower level coaching at universities like NAIA schools or D2 schools and things like that, which is really, I mean, it's weird. It's kind of a backwards way of thinking about it, because like you should get rewarded for like how good you are as a coach, but sometimes the lower level coaches that don't get paid that well rise to the top, and the Steagles were definitely one of those.
Yeah, I feel like, especially after the first couple years they had at Riddle, or even after the first 4 years, let's say, while we were there, they could have moved to many different places.
For
but
sure.
They loved it so much.
Yeah.
You know, and like I was saying before, how it finds a way to sift the shit out, you know? The coaches who really care,
right?
You know,
they stay in it. Like, I remember Thurno was thinking about leaving after, I think it was after our junior year. So after 2010, I think he had opportunities to leave, and like I would always wish the best for Thurno to go wherever, but he
never wanted to leave though. Like he never wanted any of the
selfishly.
He didn't want to leave.
Oh yeah, me selfishly, I would have wanted to stay forever.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you going to piss too?
Oh yeah.
But like, you know, I mean, he had opportunities. Like, I wish the best for him, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But
because you want a guy like him to continue to be around the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. But you know that he's going to give his best and be where he wants to be. Which thankfully he stayed for another 2 or 3 years, right? So
well, that's why I got lucky, because it was their first 3 years together at Embry-Riddle, so it was like there was little indication that they were going to leave. You know, one of them was going to separate.
Yeah.
So it was you know, it was easy.
Yeah,
but
that was a great experience. When you talked about, we started like the whole fall tryout. The whole fall season was our tryout.
Yeah,
and Thurno wasn't there yet. He was still like selling insurance or whatever.
I forgot what he was doing. Yeah, whatever.
And
slinging shit like snake oil or something.
I was so naive. I mean, I guess it was naivety. I don't know, but I had just no idea. When Steagle talked about our pitching coach, and like he would say anything about him, I was like, this guy's a fucking god. Like when he gets here, like this guy is going to be able to teach us so much shit. Yeah. And then he gets there, and he just like he didn't know any of our names because he was there late, like had no fucking clue. And then you're throwing a bullpen for him. I threw my first bullpen to Bonji was catching. I tell the story a lot.
What a nightmare as a
and
pitcher.
He's like laying the ball, and I'm throwing like curveballs in the dirt, and I'm nervous, like shaking. Like this guy is a god that I've heard like for a month now.
The aura of the legend
that he's like the greatest pitching coach, and like we're so lucky to have him. That's like what Steagle had like preached to us.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was doing that just to like make sure that we respected him, but obviously it was. Yeah, I mean it was true.
Yeah.
So I mean Thurno knows what the fuck he's talking about. So he's behind me. I'm like shaking, throwing my first pen, and all he's doing is motherfucking Bonji. He's like, this fucking lazy motherfucker, just laying shit. Oh, what the fuck? And I was just like, he's not even paying attention to me.
I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's incredible.
But like those passionate coaches are the ones that keep the game like real at programs around the country.
That. Yeah, for
especially the lower level ones.
Yeah,
because once you get into the SEC, ACC type of stuff, there's so many politics that are involved in hiring those coaches.
And you need guys like him, or even the Steagles, like in the program to sift through the politics, to be able to.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see Thurno get an ACC or an SEC job, and because he would be one of the true ones that
it would be so cool to
take over and like do very well.
Yeah,
but it's very rare that those guys get an opportunity.
Yeah, we saw him. Bud and I, he was coaching at Stetson. He's still coaching at Stetson, I think.
Yep.
and they were playing University of Maryland, which is like 2 blocks from my house. Mm-hmm. So Bud and I went to go see him play a couple games, and it was like
at University of Maryland.
At Maryland, because Stetson was playing a series there. Yeah. And we were like, man, we wish this guy would just be a head coach somewhere. Like, I love the Steagles too. Yeah, just a little bit more. We're gonna probably end soon because my battery's about to die. So when we saw him like doing his thing for another team on a different competition level, I was just like, man, that's the guy. Like, you want guys like him and the Steagles to do so well, because I think it's mainly is because they taught me so much. It was just like, man, that guy deserves to be teaching more people, because more people need those kind of life lessons, not just baseball, but just like life experience and lessons on how to be a man and an adult. You know?
Yeah. You know what's funny? Like when you say that, and I think about I just think about Thurno coaching in a different school is like, so obviously Thurno and I talk a lot anyway, and so like the last time I was in Daytona, it was me and Austin and Sarah Quinn.
Yeah.
And Thurno was on Halloween, and so we were at Stetson, and they were doing like this Halloween thing, like all the players were.
Did he go as powder for Halloween?
He was Squints, I think.
That's good.
Was he Squints? I think he was Squints, yeah. Anyway, so we're sitting there and like, I'm just listening. So I was asking about the team, and he would tell us about players, and he's like, that guy is like a first rounder. Like, he's talking about this guy.
He's a non-prospect. He's good, yeah.
And I could just, I had an out-of-body experience of being a player. Like, I connected with the players that I don't know dick about. Yeah. I know nothing about those players, but because Thurno coaches them, we are on the same wavelength. We know,
same world, same universe.
We're in the same, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but
no, I get it. You don't have to explain it verbally because we get it. Like, and that's the thing with like newer guys. Like, there's a couple of guys that actually listen in that message me, which is really awesome. I love that they messaged me and hit me up about liking the show and stuff. Mm-hmm. And they play for the Steagles. I never played for them. Some of them I met, some of them I haven't met. But
what the hell is that?
I don't know what's going on here, folks, but we got some sort of situation going.
I think everyone is.
Everyone's drunk now, so. But there's these you can relate to that person immediately. I never met some of these guys before. We talk online only, where they're like, hey, I like your show. I want you to talk about this, and I want you to get this guy on. And it's like, we're in the same family, some sort of, or the same universe at least. Whereas other people that I interact that are otherwise great people, hard workers, good human beings, it's just like, we're not. You're here and I'm here. Yeah. And it's just different.
I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
When I was in Riddle this past, before all this COVID stuff, right before the COVID stuff, I went down to Riddle, and I brought Erin down there because she went.
Go ahead. I'm going to rip on you, but go finish up. You finish first.
I know what you're going to rip on.
You know exactly. Finish up.
Go ahead.
No, now I'm nervous.
No, you went down to Riddle.
I went down to Riddle before all the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm so freaking nervous. What are you going to say now? I can't even think of what I was going to. But, I showed Erin everything. And she was all
she went down with you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. And did
you drive down?
No.
You flew down?
I flew.
Oh, okay.
Just tell us the story of you going down before COVID.
Yeah.
So I flew down to Daytona. And even when I was hanging out with the players that were there, they were like, sons of Steagles. And, we're sons of Steagles, and you got that connection now.
Yeah,
what the fuck did I do?
So you were still you were towards the tail end of your weight loss journey.
Okay.
You were not fully you're not where you are now.
Okay.
Skip sends me this picture. By the way, Skip, Cheesesteak, and Bud and I are in a group text.
First off, I was pretty close to the end of it at that time. I was like 153, and I wanted to get to 145.
So, but this is before you and I talked about your certification and the conversation we had earlier today in the episode. there's no text involved. It's just a picture to the group chat from Skip. It's a picture of a guy in a Corvette in Daytona.
Oh, yeah.
And the way the picture was, it like there was still a bit of a double chin, almost like I don't know if it was silhouette or you had your beard or something like that. And I thought it was I was like, who is this fat fucking shit? More so piece of
You
shit.
are 60 pounds now.
And it was an obvious.
I've never
like,
seen enough of you,
it was
George.
obviously a Corvette. Like you could tell. I was like, who the fuck is this person think they are? And I was like, who is this? And I guess one person, I'm not gonna mention names on who I thought it was. Another piece of shit.
What do you mean another piece of shit?
And then I was like, is this him? And they're like, guess again. I was like, it can't be. And they're like, it is. I was like, is this David's coming down here like a big shot? Because you were talking to the air traffic class, right? Didn't you have to talk to them?
No. So I went down there for baseball. You can ask him.
Okay.
I went down there.
I thought it was the same time you had to go down for to talk to an air traffic control class.
No, I offered. Once I already booked the flight, I was going down there.
All Bud and I got was a picture of Cory Davis in Daytona in a Corvette, a rented Corvette. I was like, this fucking piece of shit is in a Corvette. And I texted her, I was like, can you believe this shit?
I want to tell you guys something, okay? When we got to the Avis or Hertz or whatever the hell it was, we went up to the desk.
I don't want to hear.
And I said to her, I was like, oh, is there any chance we can get an upgrade? I'm thinking they're going to give me like a Mustang, something like that.
Charger.
She's like, no, we don't, sorry. I'm like, oh, okay, And she's like, well, we do have a Corvette. She's like, let me see what I can do. And like, she talks to the manager and just fucking upgrades me. Sorry, Terrence. to a Corvette. Just with no extra charge or anything like that. And the first thing I fucking said, and ask her, right outside this fucking door right now, ask her, I said, Skip is gonna fucking roast me.
Dude.
He's gonna take a picture
immediately.
He's gonna
send Corvette. I'd say, nope, give me the Chevy Cavalier.
I am not going to. I'm not doing that.
And she was like, you know what? Fuck that. Get the Corvette. I swear to God, I was like, Skip's gonna rag on me. He's gonna take a picture. He's gonna send it. I swear to God, he's gonna send it
to all the important people, all the VIPs in the roast community.
Now,
this is great because I almost brought this up tonight when we were out to dinner.
Oh, like,
but I'm glad it's coming out on the podcast.
This is so much better, though. This is so much better. So, as we were turning onto Clyde Morris from ISB ramp, showing Aaron and everything, I'm like, oh, this is this, whatever. I'm in the and I said, I really hope Skip doesn't see me pull up. I said it to her. Ask her, Aaron, does it? Okay. So, I was like, I really hope Skip doesn't see me. Guess who's walking across
right outside, dude.
Yes. And I was like, you got to be kidding me.
He didn't take a picture. Everyone was not in the picture. So all we got was Cory Davis, Dangerous Davis, the person. I'll get some feedback issues with the microphone. Hopefully it works. It should be good now. Hopefully. Anyway. I get the picture of just David's in the Corvette. We rip him to shreds. I didn't know everyone was involved. All I know was Davis was in a Corvette in Daytona, like big shot, like I'm coming in all varsity, big timer guy, and I laid into you in the group chat so hard. I think I still probably had the conversation.
You know what the worst part is, and I'll tell you what the worst part is I'm sitting there while he's eating a stupid Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah.
And he's on his phone, and I know exactly what he's doing. I sent it to him. I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, I'm just showing Sarge who's here. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
And that's that.
Exactly.
And that was that.
I even said to him, I'm like, hey, go ahead, take him around the parking lot. But
he's like TMZ,
dude.
So it was completely out of context.
It was like I knew
That's
it,
incredible.
and then the second I pulled up to the Clyde Moore's entrance of Imperial, I saw him crossing the street, and I wanted to just
you're like, you're like, I can't believe Sarge is getting killed here.
That's great. That makes it so much better that you knew that it was coming.
Oh, I absolutely.
Yeah.
I told her, I'm like, I don't think I can get this upgrade. I don't think they were like, there's a Camaro. I'm like, okay, that's not too bad. But then they give me this souped up. Dude, this thing was sick. Dude. It was a souped up Corvette. It was
That's
like
so rich.
whatever that S71, whatever the
It was legit.
It was
looking.
legit.
And I hated it even more for it. I was
Oh,
like, of
God.
course he had to get the top of the line Corvette, not the 2012. He had to get a 2019 version, like a piece
It
of
might have been
shit.
the 2020, bro.
It was the worst.
It was convertible, right?
It was the
It was
most.
a convertible. Dude, this car was
Look.
so sick.
Here's the thing. It was the most fat Corey Davis thing that could ever be done by anybody. Like that was, and it was old Cobblepot Davids, not Cobble not Davids. And it was completely out of context, though. That was what was so funny now, thinking back to it. It was like, it was completely not the situation,
Of
but
course.
we built it up and we ripped it to shreds.
But
for it.
that's like everything. That's why just give me a chance.
Yeah, I'm a good guy. How long have we been going? Like
9 hours.
it's after midnight, folks. We're now into the next day of recording. This is unbelievable. I hope the audio is working. This is going to be such a shitty ending if the audio doesn't work. Let's just cut it. We'll call it a day. We'll figure out another time. We're kind of close enough that
If the girls
we
weren't
can
here,
figure it out.
I'd say we keep going.
That's true,
We
too.
go 6 hours.
Yeah, we could. I just plug the laptop in and we keep going forever, but we have business to attend to. So thanks a lot.
The
Hey.
Corvette story, right?
real quick,
How many bottles of wine do you guys have?
a lot of wine.
Just
A
laugh.
lot of wine's going on over there outside the studio here. Reamy, okay, you don't have any social media presence other than Instagram, so
Instagram and Twitter.
Instagram,
My
Twitter.
Twitter is 99% Ember Riddle.
Yeah.
Baseball stuff.
okay. So you can find him on
Yeah,
Wet Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White Cat, yeah.
Davis, real quick, plug your
Yeah.
talk about your Crossroads Fit business that you
Yeah,
got going,
so-
the personal training going on. Real quick.
So when I first decided that I had to get serious and lose weight, I hired a coach. He's an online coach. It wasn't anyone in person or anything like that. He set up workouts for me. He set up a nutrition plan, everything like that. And
all right, thank you for that.
and then I rented a Corvette. And so the biggest thing for me, and I think this comes from
Slide it a little bit here, Phil. We can finish strong.
I think this comes from the athlete in me, or the wannabe athlete. The competitor in me is that I needed accountability. I needed someone really to be watching what I'm doing, to hold me accountable, everything like that.
Yeah.
And I hope he doesn't hear this, but there were certain things that he did that listen, I lost 75 pounds. The guy's a freaking.
You just
I owe
learned
my
from
life.
him, whether it
I owe
was
my
good or bad. You learned from
Yes.
him. Got it. Yeah.
However, there were certain things that I felt could have been a little bit better done. I felt like
For you.
he was there for me, but he wasn't there 24/7. So I try to be there 24/7.
It's hard to do online.
It is hard.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very hard.
Especially online.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
But there were certain things like I would message him like something that was pretty time sensitive. He would get back to me for a couple of days. I'm like, come on. Like I texted him,
Yeah.
So me and Aaron decided to start up our own online fitness company because we really wanted to be what we wanted 100% out of him. But he's massive though. He has 100 clients. It's impossible for him to keep up. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're kind of like you're starting off a little bit slower, so
Yeah.
that you can do that.
and we're keeping it small.
Yeah,
to
that's
try to
the point,
be more personalized. So anyway, she handles a lot of the nutrition and the mental side of things. I have my licenses, so I handle the fitness and nutrition side of it, and we're by your side the whole way. Whether you want to bulk up or lose weight, obviously, I love seeing people transform.
And you mean personally, you're not online, right? Or
I know. I do personal training in person too here, but I do
on like diet, fitness plans as well that you provide to people.
Yeah, no, I mean, not even. It's all customized. It's nothing that we.
Right, that's what I meant. Yeah, per person. But you can do like if a person's like overseas or somewhere else in the country, you can provide them a diet and fitness plan online and personalized to them. Yeah,
but it's basically what me and my wife did. She lost 70 pounds. I lost 75.
Yeah, look, guys. Look, I dog on David's all the time. You know that. And at one point you were big for you. Like you were. I joked. This is mean, but I joked. I said it looks like current Davids ate college Davids. Like that's how you ballooned up. We all get there, but your transformation has been incredible. The progress for both of you. You look fantastic. You feel fantastic. It's one of those things where it's like you're progress photos sell themselves. Like that will sell themselves for your company and your program. It's unbelievable how you've been able to do that and stick to it. That's the toughest thing. That's something I'm dealing with like family members of mine and friends that are trying to lose weight and get healthy. Is they don't tough out the process, and you guys did that, and it's unbelievable that you guys were able to do that. And go check it out, Crossroads Fit at Instagram. You got a website?
It's X Roads Fit because Crossroads Fit.
Yeah, X Roads.
X Roads Fit, so it's like X Roads Fit.
Oh yeah, suck it. Yeah.
X Roads Fit, crossroadsfit.com, or just hit me up whenever. I'm sure you'll put the info on.
Yeah, I'll post it in the comments section of like the caption of the post for the episode is check out Crossroads Fit. Incredible. Go check it out. Look, it's very easy to at least consult with you guys.
Yeah.
And find out what is good for you to get started, to feel better about your life. And it's not just a physical thing. I talk about this all the time, like randomly throughout like my episodes, is physical health and fitness leads to mental and emotional health as well.
My goodness.
It's not just like, it's unbelievable. We joke about it all the time, but it's so important that it's a total package, if you will. That's a joke. Like that's in every riddle, like a joke, if you will. Yeah, you want to be the total package, but that's what it is. Like look good, feel good, play good is legit. So go check it out.
Yeah, I would say that most of my clients, obviously, I set up a program for them. It's 100% physically, tough. You gotta work out, you gotta watch what you eat and everything like that. But
the accountability is
the mental aspect that goes into it. It's like I almost need a psych degree also.
Yeah, that's the toughest part is to keep people doing it. Because you're gonna hit walls, you're gonna hit plateaus.
That's the hardest thing about a coach or a fitness trainer is finding what motivates each client or your player.
Yeah.
And everybody's motivated differently. Some people are motivated because they don't want to be called the fat kid anymore. Some people are motivated because they just want to reach that extra level of fitness. So,
and that's one thing that I'll say for the junction out there, like Cory and Aaron in Crossroads, like they're really good at that. They're really good at finding out what motivates you and disciplines you to get you to where you need to go. And that's really awesome. And I dog on you all the time. And it pains me to actually pay you a compliment. So you know it's the truth. Like you guys have to know it's the truth. So go check it out, Crossroads Fit. I'll post this shit. But guys, this was awesome. We got to do it again.
Listen,
people need the people need more of this for sure. I think
we could keep going for another 3 hours.
I could go all this.
We are gonna go for another 3 hours.
Yeah, after this. But thank you guys for listening. God, hold on a second. This microphone changed again. All right. Hopefully you guys hear me. I'll do some little video editing. How you doing, Magic? But thanks again for listening. Go check out Crossroads Fit. Check out all my bullshit. Libretti Podcast Diary Show at YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Anchor FM. Go check it out. Please leave ratings in Apple. Leave comments in YouTube. Hit my Instagram up. Leave comments. I love that shit. I love interacting with you guys. Even if you're shit talking, that's even funnier to me. So keep that up.
And we check your Instagram all the time.
You guys always are checking me.
Fucking throw shit on there.
Please roast us all. Please do it. I love that shit. So thank you again, guys.
Yeah, if you're gonna throw a comment on the Instagram, you might as well do it on the YouTube because the YouTube will help with the algorithm to keep it going. And
that too. Yeah. Not that I care too much about that, but we want to spread the good word of the LPDS to the people. We gotta give the people what they want. So. Spread the good word.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for including us.
I mean, when you told me, I was one of the first. I feel like I was one of the first people you told that you were going to host a podcast, and I was like fucking on board with it because like
you're a ride or die. Yeah,
you guys have a beautiful mind for this kind of shit.
Oh, thank you.
So like I was fucking on board, ready.
Thank you. Yeah.
But like I'm glad that you asked me to be on because it's.
Oh no, this is great,
it's great to just interact with you.
for sure. Yeah. What were you gonna say, D?
You know what? We'll throw a sponsorship onto
I would love it. Oh
We're
yeah,
gonna-
that's free.
we're
That's
gonna have
free
a serious
publicity for
sponsorship.
sure. Yeah, but
on
like
the show.
that's I
I'm
love
going to
that.
sponsor the next
Yeah.
Jabroni Drunk Show.
No, that's hell yeah. No, I love it.
You
No,
can
even
sponsor
not,
this
but-
this cage match.
Not this one. I'll do
No,
it.
maybe
Oh,
the next,
okay.
maybe the next one. But thank you guys for being on. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, too fucking bad. It's my show. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck you.
so
Sorry.
if you
nerds.
if you're too beta to actually hit the comments, hit up my email, LibrettiPodcastDiary@gmail.com.
This one
But
should be popular with the Andrew Riddle one.
at least a couple guys, yeah, the family, if you will.
right.
So yeah, so that'll be good. But thanks, guys. I love you all, and stay strong.
And I was talking to your mother just the other night. I told her I thought you were an asshole.